Bring it on. Want some, get some. Can I get a hell yeah? Yes, I am a pirate. You have to go with the pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything. It's a pirate's life for me. Be proud of who you are and what you are. You're pirate.
It is a first down. Pirates.
Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Well, you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
I think I've ever been in a building as loud as that was. It was deafening in there.
You live with Omaha? I can promise you that. And it's purple all night long in Eastern North Carolina.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.
My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down of my soul, and I don't back down, not at all. Find out when the cannons explode.
All right, welcome in to the Sports Objective, where we have TSO on deck, and it's going to be, of course, a great show because I have my buddies. It's a trio. This is like America or Nirvana or let's see who else. Rush. Any band that has three. So that we could do that. I'll start off with our lead guitarist, ladies and gentlemen. He's been playing the lead guitar longer than I've been alive, and he is still looking great after all these years. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend, Eastern North Carolina Radio, and that's Alan Vick.
Hello, Mr. Richmond. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I can't sing. That's going to have to be Johnny Robertson will have to be our lead.
No, I'm on drums.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't want me singing, believe me. That wouldn't be good.
I could sing 10 or 12 miles away from everybody else.
I thought you were going to do Daddy Sing Bass.
Yeah, I could sing a solo. Nobody can hear me.
Sounds good to me. Sound better than you think, but I tell you what, who sounds great right now. Those bats for the Pirates. You like that segue, Alan Vick?
Love that segue, Dave Richmond. Yep, the bats came alive twice, as a matter of fact, yesterday, and that was quite a nice win for the Pirates, and a nice way to go into a very important series with Charlotte tomorrow.
No doubt, and as a matter of fact, I'm sure everybody watching the show, we got a big crowd. Thank you so much, and more coming in. It's kind of like a bar. More people are shuffling in. You know, it's like it just keeps growing and growing. And maybe, Alan, are you the doorman then? Are you the bouncer?
I'm the bouncer.
Yeah.
I want to be the bouncer.
You're the guy that has that really nice suit on, and you've got sunglasses on and the earpiece.
Yes.
And so when you see like pretty ladies, you let them come up VIP?
Yes, I let them in and make people look the other way.
Yeah. What are you talking about? These ladies work here.
That's right. That's my sister's sister.
A sister from a different mister. Anyway, I have to admit, when we go up big, I'm very happy. I know Johnny, tell me that stat, and I know you'll know this, but you gave us a stat.
Don't do that. You every time you start off like that, you throw something at me that I don't know. So let's.
No. This is something we talked about, I believe, on Extra Innings on Sunday night. By the way, we have Easter. We'll have a special Easter bunny special on Sunday night Extra Innings, and hopefully we could talk about a sweep. But anyway, last Sunday night, I believe you talked about our record if we score.
Yeah. I can help you out with that, Dave, actually.
I will not throw you a curve, I promise. Alan.
Okay, so when we do not score in the first 3 innings, in any inning, just at least one run in the first 3 innings combined, we are 0-9. When we do score a run in the first 3 innings, we're 17-3-1. So I said odds are in our favor, so we need to get the bats going early.
No doubt, and we did. And the great thing about that win was being a home game. We talked about the importance of that. We needed that one really bad last night. And what I was getting at, I don't know. Forgive me for admitting this on the air, but I felt like I said when they started scoring runs, And all of a sudden, what was it? The seventh inning, seventh inning, they get like seven. They get a whole bunch of runs, and all of a sudden, 6 runs or whatever. It's like 8-6, or 8-7. And I was like, okay. And I said, please do not have this another walk off. I don't know if you guys felt. I did for a little bit. I didn't say I panicked. I didn't get to the part of panicking on the Pirates, but I did say we've got to find a way to close out this game. And Johnny, man, those bats can't, like Alan said, those in the 8th inning, they finished UNCW off.
Yeah, I mean, it was 8-4 at one point.
Yeah.
8-3 actually. We were up 8-3, and they made it really interesting in the top of the 8th and scored 3 runs, which made it 8-7. And then we answered with 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th.
That was great.
That's what you do. You give up 3 runs, you answer, and then you put your little extra in the bank. And in the top of the 9th, we held them to 1 run and got out of there with a nice win. Very nice win.
I know that he had some runs scored on him, but I still am a lot happier for the gentleman. I tell you what, D'Lo, a lot better this year, his junior year, than last year. So he had that great freshman year, and I know he gave up a few runs, but we were up enough that I want to give Coach Cliff Godwin a shout out, because I was happy that he got to work. I was happy that I was happy that we had the lead enough that he could get work where he could build up some confidence. And I know he gave us some runs, but overall, he didn't lose the game, and we definitely need him down the stretch.
Yeah. You know what I noticed, Dave? I also was glad, because I've been tracking D'Lo, because I root for him. I root for all of them, obviously, but anyone that's been struggling, I root for them to rebound. And he did give up 3 earned runs in 1.1 inning or 1 1/3 innings. But when he knew he had to come out of the game, you could just tell he was upset at himself. But Colby came out,
yes,
and comforted him. And then when Cliff came out, Cliff gave him a little shoulder rub and pat, and was like, "You did a good job. Forget the scoreboard. He didn't walk anybody again." I mean, that's becoming a trend with him. He's just not walking anybody, which is what he needed to do. And when you're up that big, you have to throw strikes. And he put one on, with too much plate, and it's just it happens. It happens, but that doesn't diminish my confidence next time D'Lo goes out there. And I don't think the team or Cliff feels any differently.
Yeah, and I will say this, to be transparent. Last year when he was out on the mound, I kind of held my breath a little bit. But this year, I feel like that he's got the confidence, he's got the command back. And no, I'm not going to spend the whole time on D'Lo, but I just wanted to say, give him a shout out and give him the love he deserves, because we need these guys. We do have the pitching, and we've got guys that are working really hard, and I'm glad to see that their hard work is paying off. And I appreciate also Austin Knight and Jake Agnos, and the guys are working with them in their pitching.
And let's remember, this is a very good Wilmington team that we've beaten twice now. So this is a good resume win. UNC Wilmington, no slouch by any means. You beat them at their place, you beat them at our place, and now you got a shot to make some hay in the conference this weekend. So if you'd lost that game last night, the entire trajectory of coming into the weekend, coming into tomorrow, would have been really different.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And
there'd be full-blown panic, I think, and lack of confidence. Maybe not by the players so much, but it wouldn't have been good. You're right, Alan. A huge difference there with that win.
It was such a great response. We all talked about it when it was 8-7. We were all holding our breath and chewing our fingernails, but immediately, in the next few at bats, we stretched it right back out. So that just proves what we can do when things are clicking.
That's right. And you guys are like me when we know this team has a ton of potential. We know this team has a lot of talent. The coaching staff did a great job with going out to the portal, plus the freshman class. That's one thing that I like about Cliff Godwin. When the other night, I know it's basketball and March Madness, but when Rick Pitino talked about all he's going to do is the transfer portal, there's just something about that. It's like, no. And when you look at Cliff Godwin, he has that foundation of players. And yeah, we might need to get, a left-hander. We might need to get a right-hander. As far as pitching, we may need to get an infielder, outfielder, whatever. But when it comes to his program, he and Palumbo do a great job of getting guys that, are like a nucleus of players. And I like his approach of that. And I think, Johnny, I was looking at by the way, Johnny, I was looking at the standings and, the first to eighth place it's a wide open league. It's kind of exciting for the standpoint that we haven't played our best, but the good news is we are right in the thick of the race still, and we haven't reached our potential. We haven't plateaued yet.
Yeah, it's because of the parity in this league. Even the top teams, UTSA, South Florida, us, we all have, areas of deficiencies. So what's going on is we played 2 weeks of conference ball and 10 series have been played, one sweep. Last season, out of the 45 series, there were 14 sweeps. So clearly sweeping is much harder to do, well, at least for now. I do think there's going to be some separation coming, but for right now, yeah, it's still relatively close. Hey, I just wanted to give a shout out also, 7-2 midweek games, and those 2 losses were by 1 run each. Of course, the 2-1 game to Campbell and then the Duke 8-9 game. So, that's a great thing when you're, you're attacking these midweek games and coming out on top almost, all the time.
And the fact that we struggled, am I wrong about that last year? The season seemed to run together. Forgive me, guys. I'm not like Bubba Rosenbaum, our friend. But didn't we struggle with midweeks last year? Am I making that up?
We struggled. We struggled a lot in a lot of areas until we got to Clearwater last year.
Yeah.
And midweek games were an issue. And this year being 7-2. And you look at it now, this conference is wide open. Nobody's going to run away with this conference. This is going to stay tight. And I think we'll probably go down to the last weekend of the season to determine a regular season champion. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
I would think that.
Yeah. I don't see any reason not to think that.
Right. So we're having the fun times of now the season, and I tell you what, we have a chance. So it starts this weekend. We can only go to the next game. So Charlotte's on the clock. Let's have we'll be there. Let's have a big crowd. Alan, are you going to be like crowd surfing in the jungle? That's what I would.
There's a good chance that I probably will be there tomorrow and maybe Friday. I cannot go Saturday. I have a previous engagement on Saturday, but I'm looking at Thursday and Friday. The weather looks cooperative for tomorrow, for Friday, and even Saturday. Right now, things are looking good. We're talking, lower to mid 80s and very little chance of rain. So we need a. I know it's Easter weekend, et cetera, but we need a large crowd of Pirate fans for. I know we say this all the time, and it sounds like a broken record, but this is really a big series as far as the rest of the season goes.
Yeah, I almost was going to stay in Virginia when I looked at the forecast like 5 days ago. It was like, I'm wasting my time going down there, especially when gas is like $4 something a gallon. I was like, that's just a dumb investment. These games, it's just going to rain every day. But now it does look like a beautiful forecast. I'm heading down tomorrow morning and I will be there to witness, hopefully, our first sweep since March of last year.
And remind people, a lot of people may not realize, casual fans may not realize, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes, I wanted to make sure. I'm glad you said that, Mr. Vic. You are the elder statesman, and we appreciate that. very, very much because
You calling me old, man? Is that what you're doing?
You're very old, but we still love you.
My age and my IQ finally are the same.
No, actually, you look fantastic, and you're not that old. So you and I are not that far apart in age. So if I'm calling you old, that makes me old. So,
but we are far apart in IQ because you're much smarter than I am. So.
Well, that's scary. You are definitely a lot smarter than I am, but that's a whole nother show. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this series for many reasons. I love the fact that with Charlotte, their team is usually pretty good in baseball, and I think that we can break that. Johnny, do you have the numbers on Charlotte to break down?
Yeah, I have some stuff.
All right,
definitely.
Take a look at that about how is their. Let's start off. How is their pitching right now as far as against what we'll see with the Pirates?
Okay, so it's going to be a different pitching staff than we saw last year, but I would say that their pitching is upper mid pack. A lot of righties. Their ERA is 4.8. Ours is 4.57. They played a pretty good schedule. They're a lot like us, to be honest. For instance, they don't really have a Sunday guy. They're changing. Like last Sunday, their starter lasted 1 inning. Last Saturday, their starter lasted 1 inning. So they got a lot of long relievers. Like I said, a lot of right-handers. They strike out a lot of batters, just like we do. We actually strike out a bit more than they do, but they have I would say, a better than average pitching staff. The Friday situation is going to be interesting. Obviously, we have Ethan, who didn't have his best game of the year when we played Charlotte in Charlotte on that Friday night. He did come back in the conference tournament and actually threw, I think 1 1/3 inning of relief against Charlotte to help seal the semifinal victory and take us to the championship game. So I feel like he'll rebound against Charlotte. Charlotte's pitcher that killed us last year was Blake Gillespie. He's gone. So we don't have to worry about him.
I do remember that.
Yeah, everybody remembers that name. They also had Andrew Cribbs, who is still there, but he hadn't pitched since the 17th of March. So I'm not sure what's going on with him. So, they're throwing different people out there. Last Friday, they started a sophomore right-handed pitcher. He went 5 innings, gave up only 2 hits and 1 earned run. And, they were able to take 2 out of 3 from South Florida. So, I mean, they're a well-rounded team. They do everything well. They don't really have any weaknesses, but pitching-wise, and that's what your original question was, they remind me of us a little bit, except for they don't have an Ethan Norby like we do.
As we bring in now, ladies and gentlemen, from the bullpen, he's one of the best pitchers in the history of the Sports Objective, Kyle Barber.
Yeah, well, you're undoubtedly one of the best catchers.
Woo!
Starting off with a bang.
Throwing the heat. We'll keep the baseball continue.
He has a rekindled love for Major League Baseball, ladies and gentlemen.
How did you know about that? Did I mention that to you?
You professed, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know what I say where. As evident by some things I text by accident. But I'm watching the Cleveland Guardians Dodgers. I really have been enjoying on MLB Network. They do wraparound coverage all night, like starting at 7 o'clock until 1 a.m.
Yeah.
4 games at a time. And I've really been enjoying that. But tonight they have a primetime game, and I don't want to watch the Dodgers do anything. And
that's why we're going to have a lockout because of the Los Angeles.
Well, yeah, they're playing Cleveland. They're the Guardians. Their salary, Cleveland versus the Dodgers. You talk about Major League. You talk about college football disparities. You know what the salary difference is between the Cleveland Guardians and the Dodgers? Around $200 million.
Yeah, that's pretty much the Dodgers and anybody. But yeah, that's a complete mismatch.
Yes.
Insane. By the way, Cleveland has the boringest logo.
Horrible.
It's just like it looks like a minor league baseball. It looks like a minor league affiliate to the Cubs. It's just a weird looking C.
If
Don't
they
like
had
it,
left,
Kyle.
if they had left the name alone, they wouldn't have that problem.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I think you come up with something better than that. Better. I mean, at least Guardians sounds like Indians.
Does
But
it?
I think
Indians, Guardians, yeah.
No.
I
Not
think
my book.
It ends the same way.
I like
Okay.
the name the Guardians. I just think like you're exactly right, Kyle. The logo and that
Chief
Yeah.
Wahoo was his name.
Yeah, Chief. I'd rather believe me. I'd rather them say the Cleveland Indians too. But unfortunately, that's gone. With the wind, and so I don't think the name they changed. The name they chose was bad.
it's just a logo.
They just don't have any logo. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I would have rather stayed the Indians, but
Yeah.
all that's gone away.
Kinston Indians. I went to so many games in college and after college for that decade.
Yeah. I was, growing up in Eastern North Carolina, you were either a Braves fan and an Orioles fan because of where you were located. But if you're a Braves fan or Orioles fan, you're a Cubs fan because of WGN like me, or you were a Cleveland Indians fan because of Kinston.
That's right.
So,
Right.
One of the most interesting things was there was a radio station in the early 80s that ran the Baltimore Orioles, and they literally had to have a board op for 162 regular season games. There had to be somebody physically there playing the commercials, no matter if they were on the coast, wherever. 162 games times about 3.5 to 4 hours per game.
you mean locally here
On
in
the radio,
area?
yes. 1070 WNCT back in the early 80s was a Baltimore Orioles affiliate.
Isn't 1250 an Orioles
Yeah,
affiliate?
they run. Yeah, I don't know if they still are, but they were.
Yeah.
They were. Yeah.
Yeah, they still are.
Are they?
Is anybody who's the Nats affiliate in this area? We got to have somebody.
Nope.
Yeah, but everything is
How is
computer.
that-
Yeah, no, so
How is there not a Nationals affiliate in this area?
Good.
I
question.
think the ESPN 252, one of those at one time was a Nationals affiliate. I don't know if they still are.
I'll tell you what I hate is that Masson has the rights regionally for the Orioles and Nationals, and the problem with Masson is
They're not on every.
you're right. They're on some cable providers. They're on DirecTV and Dish Network, but they're not on the only streaming. So I got Hulu Live, and a lot of people have streaming. The only streaming you can get them on is I called it Fubu the other day. What the hell is it called? I can't think of it. But they're only on one streaming service. So
I think you're right.
Yeah.
that's not Fubu. Fubu's shoes.
So are you paying for MLB TV, Kyle? Is
No.
that
I just have the Major League MLB Network is all I have. It's carried on YouTube or on Hulu TV.
Fubo.
Okay.
Fubo.
Yes.
Hey, Kyle, I was going to say, I think there's no Nationals coverage in North Carolina because I think Peter Angelos, when he owned the Orioles, he only would vote to allow the Nationals an expansion team if they didn't infringe on his territory.
Oh no, they're our regional team. There are the Nationals and the Orioles are both our regional teams, and they fall as our regional team. We get blackouts for national games just like we do Orioles games.
But there's more Braves fans in North Carolina than there are Orioles and Nats fans.
Yeah, and I ain't one of them. I hate the Braves.
Wait a minute.
I'm definitely one.
You have Josh.
I hate the Braves.
Johnny Robertson.
Congratulations to all of them. I hate the Braves.
Kenny, aren't you a Braves fan? I think Kenny's a Braves fan. I love what he said about our team. He said this earlier, right before he came on, Kyle. He's talking about the Pirates. This team gives you every emotion you possibly have: glee to heart attack, mad and joy, not in that order, game to game. And John,
last night's game was a trip. It was something. That was classic midweek baseball.
Is that? Oh my Lord, that's funny. Oh, wait a minute. Josh says easy with the Braves slander. You know what's great is we know
I didn't slander the Braves. I didn't like them. I didn't say anything about them. I didn't say they were a horrible organization. They cheated or anything like that. They had a fantastic run in the 90s. They had they've been good as of late. I'm not a Braves fan.
Yeah, last year they had a lot of injuries for what I remember. A
They
lot.
align. I've always been a
yeah.
Braves fan, and lately their players have taken. I just agree with the outlook of their organization, the way they represent themselves does me proud. So I will always be a Braves fan. I thought when the Nats came, I could be both. There's no way. So.
John White says their Friday guy, Copper from South Carolina, did not pitch last year, came back and spent time in the Cape and has good stuff and a pedigree. So there you go. So that would be tomorrow night starter, I guess. Or could see it where there's some strategy where to keep the guy on the same rotation.
Are we getting anybody back? Is everybody still, or do we know?
For what?
Pitchers hadn't
pitching
heard
rotation.
Oh, the players. I'm not. I thought you were going basketball there for a second. We're getting those guys back. I have not heard. It's been like, it's been like crickets. Like I've been trying to find.
No, they are very tight-lipped about that sort of thing.
Alan has been hanging out on the roof. He's been trying to find out to get the scoop for us.
JR, are you hearing anything from anybody that you've got a lot of people
Talking about people that are on the injured list.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's people they don't even talk about. So no, like Nick Moran, I have no idea. And we got two left-handers that have never been mentioned. I don't even know if Dawson Neal and Gabe Beschloss. I don't even know if they can be redshirted. If they were, I know Neal is a senior. I don't even know. Those two left-handed pitchers just never. They don't ever come up in conversation. Nick Moran's another lefty. They don't talk about. We didn't see him. We didn't see Brett Antolik at all. He's another one, and I don't know. I mean, they're tight-lipped is a good way to put it because I don't think there's anybody out there. I know that he did say something about Colby Weber. He doubts that he will return this season. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but unlikely. And the other one is GVK, Gavin Van Kempen, who may be later this month or early next month.
Okay, so then no, we probably ain't getting anybody back this weekend. Oh
no, not this weekend. I could have answered it.
No.
It seems like it's basically a lot of these guys have been already out for the year. They are, like Johnny said, it's like out for the year, or we're lucky to get them back maybe before the tournament. I've heard, sometimes you're saying it may be like tournament time before you get some of these guys back. So, it's best. I guess it's one of those things where we're just going to have to. I mean, you can't right now with those guys out. You pretty much have to say they're out until they do come back. We can't be on wishing and hoping.
Let's put it this way: you do not get a university injury health report during the pregame show for baseball anymore. You used to get that. They used to at least mention the guys that were on the injured list, but they don't do that anymore. I don't believe.
No,
I haven't. That's a good point. I hadn't even thought of. I listen sometimes to the pregame when I'm definitely not at the game, and I haven't thought about that. But that's a good point, Alan.
Yeah, it's been several years, I think, since they've done that.
Here's something. I'm glad, Kenny, and that we have. And it sounds like I'm being patronizing. I'm not. But we have the best fans and the smartest fans too that watch and listen. Our DH factor for this team, absolutely no pop in the bats. So what do you think about that?
Here's what we got for that. Kenny, he actually, Kenny kind of poked me in the direction to looking into that. So on the season, we're 22 of 110 from the DH spot. That's a 200 batting average. We've hit one home run. Our opponents' designated hitters have hit 287, 6 home runs, 52 total bases. We only have 29 total bases, and we have more at bats than our opponents. DHs do, and that's coming off a Conway Regional last year, where we were 1 of 16 with 10 strikeouts in the DH spot in Conway last year. Some people may remember that. Some people may choose to forget it, and I don't blame you if you do. But that was a problem where, in the middle of our lineup too, You get Braden getting on, and Riley Johnson got on a couple of times, and just nobody. When it came to the DH, nothing happened.
Just think if you had a little bit better production at DH, you win several more ball games.
That's correct.
You do, and we can fix that because for some inexplicable reason, it's not inexplicable. They wanted AB to get the start at DH. I get that, but to do that, they took Davin Whitaker out of the lineup, which I think is nuts. Since William and Mary, Davin is 16 of 37, batting .432 with 5 doubles, a triple, and a home run, 4 runs, 11 RBIs. The guy, all he does is hit, and he hits when it counts. So, Jack Herring, he's a right fielder. He can play DH. Davin's a right fielder. He can play DH. I hope that they use those two in either of those two positions, or put Davin in left field, put Braden at second. But at this point, I hate to lose Carlos because Carlos's batting average isn't great. But for a number 8 or 9 hitter, he's another one that seems to get the job done when it's needed. So I just want Davin to start every game. I want Jack in there every game. So we got to find a way to do that and use the DH to get it done. We're not having any luck with anybody else.
Yep. And John White makes a great point. He's talking about Weber. The super frosh pitcher is not coming back. I don't see them doing any risky behavior with his super arm. And GVK only has muscle issues in forearm and may return by the end of May, which would be John. That would be probably the regional, I would say, or maybe
the conference tournaments before the end. I mean, it's the 20th. So is that the end of May? I don't know.
Yeah, the end of May would be the regional.
Let's hope we're there.
Yeah. So, and then Kenny says that Davin needs more at bats, which we talked about. And by the way, John White says to you, Johnny, it's okay, Johnny. It's inexplicable.
Thanks,
okay
John.
That
does make me feel good because if John says it, then it's got merit. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Colby too, because also William and Mary was the turning point for him and Davin Whitaker. Since William and Mary, Colby's 20 of 52, 12 runs, 12 RBIs, 5 doubles, a triple, and a home run. His only one of the year so far. Hopefully more to follow. But Colby's got it going. Davin's got it going. Jack Herring is starting to pick it up again because Jack's never been an issue. He's always had a hot bat. But and it was the Grady Linehan show. We can't forget that. Grady was in a little mini slump, but you can put that one to rest because he led the way last night. Was that last night?
Wilmington, yeah,
that was last night. Okay, yeah. So anyhow, we're in good shape with the bats. Hopefully it continues.
That game was nuts last night.
I was so happy to see us answer. I mean, because obviously, when it got to be 8-7, we were all nervous and, here we go. But we answered. And that's the kind of thing, if you can carry that momentum over, that's the kind of thing that you can, light a fire under a team on offense. I mean, so we proved last night that we can score runs in bunches multiple times, which we've not done a lot of this year.
Nah, we did it against UAB and then hadn't since, and we just need to do it consistently. I mean, I'd rather put up 7-8 runs consistently than have these big spurts like we've had and then go back into scoring 1 or 2 runs.
And let's face it, with the pitching injuries, we're going to have to outscore some people. I mean, that's just, that's the way things are looking.
Yeah.
For the rest of the season. I mean, there's not going to be any 3-2, 2-1, 1-0 games left. I don't think. Maybe Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night. You're right, but we're gonna have to outscore people, and it needs to start this weekend. I know JR will accept nothing but a sweep.
That's true, Kyle. At home, especially.
The sweep would be great. I'll take 2-1 this weekend. To me, you just need to keep winning the series and then sweep later when you're against the lesser teams in the conference. But a sweep would be great. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want a sweep.
I know.
But I obviously would rather win every game
I
rest of the
know.
way. But I just don't think we can sweep anybody this good right now. I don't think we have the pitching to do it. And Charlotte is a pretty good baseball team.
They are. They are indeed. Well-rounded.
Yeah, like I said earlier, if we'd lost last night, it would have been a completely different, mojo going into tomorrow night. We would have had to have probably swept, would have had to tomorrow night if we'd lost, even though it's not conference last night. But man, finding a way to win that game, this could be one of the games that you look back on at the end of the regular season and go, hey, this circle that game as far as the way things go from here.
Well, last week was a disaster. So this week, if you can take care of business at home and get some momentum going into the following week, I mean, we really, you got to put together a lot of wins now. We talked about it Saturday night. Different opinions on what we need to do to be an at-large team in the NCAA tournament. But we all know we can all agree, depending on who you ask, we need between 19 and 22 wins, depending on who you ask, the remainder of the way to make to feel good about being an at-large. So needs to start. Well, it started last night. We need to continue with this, starting tomorrow night. It's hard for me to say tomorrow night. I keep wanting to say this weekend.
I know. Me too.
Yeah.
I'm all mixed up.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday because of Easter.
What do we got? 26 regular season games left?
26 now after beating Wilmington. Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, you got to. We can no need to rehash it, but you got to win. You got to win 19 games. You got to 18, 19 games minimum.
Yeah, mine was 20. I said 20 and 7.
Yeah.
I know Justin was 19. I think you're saying 19. I think JR feels like you feel like we need to get to 38 wins. Were you at 38
No,
wins?
no. I was at 40, but I was including
40 for an
But hold on
athlete?
a minute. I was including the conference tournament as well.
Oh,
which-
no. Regular season only. Regular season only.
Okay, regular season only 37, I would say.
Okay, so 21 more regular season games. Okay.
It's attainable, but it can be done. Obviously, we can do it, but it's not going to be it's going to be there's no margin for error at all.
No, very little. I guess we could end it with around 35 wins and then make the conference championship game and lose that. We might get in, but this is. I hate being in this situation. This is 2 straight years that we're in this situation, and I'm hopefully come tournament time we're not in the same situation we were last year where we have to win it to make it in. There's still enough baseball left to be played where we don't have to be in that situation, but the problem is the pitching rotation.
I mentioned before you came on, Kyle, that I just lost my train of thought. What I'll come back, man. I'm getting old. I had this great thought, this great moment in history on the Sports Objective, and it just went completely away.
Alan, didn't you have a great thought last week where I think it was you. No, I'm getting to it. I'm actually going to get to a point that I think that you put out there last week is that we're East Carolina and we probably are going to get some advantages in that selection committee room based on our fan base and what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
I think that was you.
Yeah.
And I thought about that and I underestimated that. So I think that is part of the equation that needs to be put in there.
I don't think it hurts. I don't think your history and what you've done over the last 4, 5, 6 years, I don't think it hurts at all when there's a committee in a room trying to decide if you're in or out. I think it certainly it doesn't hurt you. That's for sure.
And John Gilbert's on that committee. That doesn't hurt either.
No. Is it one of those deals where he's got to excuse himself?
Yes. He's supposed to leave the room when East Carolina's being discussed.
But they're going out to lunch together.
They know he's there.
Good for that. I'm glad. It's a good situation for us.
I guess.
Anyway, by any means possible, Kyle.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
It's just nervous time, and I know what I was going to say before you came on, Kyle. I think we can all agree now that the regular season champion it's going to go down to the final weekend. This conference is so compacted, from top to bottom. I don't think there's any way anybody's going to run away with this conference at all.
It doesn't look that way, no. I would think it's going to come down to last couple weekends of the regular season. Yes, I mean, who knows? Somebody might get hot and just go on a winning streak, but
would not shock me to see tiebreakers come into effect and
no, me either.
All that sort of stuff.
Either.
Yeah, I think there's a clear top 5 and bottom 5, though. I really do, and I think that UAB's trying to push into that top 5. They're trying to push Florida Atlantic down to the bottom 5, but I feel like Memphis and Tulane are just those two are definitely the 9th and 10th teams, and that's not going to change. I don't think. I think Rice and Wichita State are playing above their head, and when they start getting into conference play, they're not going to be. I just don't think they're going to be up there. And then you got Florida Atlantic. I don't know. They're up and down. But I think Charlotte, South Florida, UTSA, and us. And possibly UAB. I keep saying, don't worry about them. But at some point, you have to consider what they're doing. So I'm going to put UAB in with the other 4, and I think that's the top 5. And then the other 5 are a different level, I think.
Yeah, we could. Our friend Corey Glore, man, can you imagine having to sit through, Tulane baseball this year?
Yeah, Tulane hasn't been very good in a while. They make runs in the conference tournament, but they're not very good. Rice, Wichita State, these are all historical college baseball powers, and they sound good to have in your conference, but none of those programs have been very good in a while. Yeah. And I don't know at what point if they'll ever. I don't know how much commitment they have. I would think Wichita, because they don't play football, has some commitment to want to get baseball fixed, but I'm not sure what commitment level Rice and Tulane has.
Tulane's pretty good at home, but they're god awful on the road this year.
Watch they'll beat us. They'll take a series from us just because that's what happens with Tulane. But I'm going to say Rice. They hired the coach that was at Texas. He was at UTSA, Texas.
Yeah,
and and he was there when they were winning national championships as an assistant. They're on the right. Rice. I have full faith. They're just so young this season. I just don't see them being able to sustain it. But, in the future, they're going to be a handful, which is good.
Yep. The more good teams, the better, for sure, as far as the league RPI goes.
Yeah, and you have a better chance of getting in as an at-large the better your team is, and you want to be a multi-bid league. So
that is true, Kyle. I love that. I mean, when we were a multi-bid league last year, and I would see that happen every season. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, last year UTSA and the Pirates making the end, and that needs to be a yearly occurrence that you have a couple teams in.
What do you think this weekend, guys? Would it be an Easter weekend? And as far as the attendance goes, do you think we're going to have a pretty good crowd? I mean, it could go either way. When you have these holiday weekends, you never know. What's what.
I think a lot of people go to the beach for Easter weekend, spring break, and all. So I do think you'll have some folks that'll be left for the beach. You'll have people that have got family get-togethers for Easter that have gone out of town. Although I don't know that maybe it's just me, but I swear Easter doesn't seem like. I'm saying it's big of a deal. It doesn't sound right because of the religious meaning to it, but it doesn't seem to be as celebrated as big as it used to when I was growing up. And maybe it's because I'm an adult now and I don't have kids, and maybe that's why it seems that way. But I swear Easter just doesn't seem to be as celebrated in terms of getting together with family and stuff like that like it used to be.
Well, Friday's a holiday, so hopefully tomorrow night we'll have a good crowd before everybody takes off and goes to the beach for the weekend or whatever. So weather looks great. I'm looking for a good crowd tomorrow night.
And I think Saturday will have a good crowd too. If we take care of business Thursday and Friday, Saturday's going to be good weather. You're going to have a lot of people are in town because of kids are out of school. I don't think it's really going to affect it negatively too much, except people going to the beach and the few people that still go to their grandparents for Easter, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I thought that it would be lightly attended, to be honest with you. But man, just looking at the Facebook, baseball page on Facebook, there's a lot of people asking for tickets. I mean, way
And
more
in
than
Charlotte,
normal.
it's the in-state game in
Yeah,
Charlotte.
way more than normal. So that was awesome to see.
I'll tell you one thing that might indicate, JR, which isn't really a good thing. I know a lot of people that have kids right now, more so than I ever have in my life, from Eastern North Carolina at UNC Charlotte. And it could be a lot of kids coming home for the Easter holiday, parents, that kind of thing, to go to the ECU Charlotte game. I'm just speculating on that. But I do know that there's a lot more people from the East right now, a lot more kids from the East going to UNC Charlotte.
There's a lot of buzz around UNC Charlotte right now with a new basketball coach and what have you too. And football is football, but they're certainly better than they were a couple of years ago. So Charlotte's doing well overall athletically, I think. They
made a good hire. They made a good hire in basketball and football.
I think Wes Miller is an excellent hire for UNC Charlotte.
I don't know how they pulled it off, but even in football, their head coach was in year one. He won, multiple conference championships at Ohio in the MAC. He was, he's a really good coach, and it's going to take him time. But unfortunately, I think he'll end up winning there in football.
Yeah, I think they realized with Biff that was that was an experiment.
Biff was a one-trick pony. All he could do was beat East Carolina.
Yeah, so I think they realized that they had to do something and get serious.
Anybody that wears those old cut-up T-shirts, we had to get rid of them. They had to get rid of them, I should say.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it in the roundtable hopefully a little bit later, but I'll save it. But hell, here we are a week from the portal opening up, guys, and Carolina still doesn't have a basketball coach.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to mention this while we were talking about Charlotte and Wes Miller. He took Marcus Page from Carolina's bench, and Marcus Page was considered to be a top candidate for a head coaching job in the next 5 years. Certainly not now, but this is going to give him exactly what he needs. He's going to be a head coach probably in the next 3 or 4 years. And Wes Miller and Marcus Page together. And then, I mean, all these teams are making great hires. I'm nervous about basketball just being, trampled upon.
But we've got Schwartz.
Let the Schwartz be with you.
It better be.
And then he might bring back Lebo. And then they might hire Ricky Stokes. And then we can go get Joe Dooley to recruit. And then
Dave Odom.
Is Eddie Payne alive?
No, he died.
Well, the spirit of Eddie Payne and
South Florida hired Chris Mack, who's been to a Final Four.
What about our buddy Mike Steele? And we got Coach Mack. They live in Greenville.
Is Charlie Harrison still alive?
He died. No, he actually died. In fact, he was a patient at God rest his soul. I went to his basketball camp, but he was a patient at the hospital a few years ago. But he passed away 2 or 3 years. I'll have to look. But I think
he was a good fellow. He was. He was. Those were disastrous years, but he, for the most part, but he was a really good gentleman. I liked him a lot as a person.
Hey, Alan, what about Coach Steele? I saw him interviewed on Brian Bailey's show. He seems like I never knew him personally, but just listening.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
He seemed like a good guy.
I don't know Mike that well either, but just what few times I've been around him, Mike's a really good guy, and Mike never got the credit, I don't think, for being as good a basketball coach as he is. I thought Mike Steele was a really good basketball coach.
Let me tell you something that I liked about him is, remember the student section they called the Steel Meal? Do you remember that, Alan?
Yeah.
The Steel Meal, but Mike Steele is, of course, he had Blue Edwards, the biggest name we've ever had in basketball, and he really knows the game. He's a guy from Indiana. Indiana's big with basketball, but I enjoy when him and Coach Mack are so knowledgeable when it comes to basketball. You can just sit back and relax for an hour, and they have so many great stories. In fact, Charles Barkley, Coach Mack was an assistant coach when Charles Barkley was in Auburn.
Yeah,
he gave a shout out on one of the pregame shows, for the NCAA March Madness a couple weeks ago, and he mentioned Coach Mack, and I was like, yes.
And you think about all the things that Mike Steele has done for this community.
A lot.
Just, outside of basketball.
Yeah. We'll get him back on the show, but he's definitely one that we can have our basketball summit. I'll tell you another thing about Coach. He has always been one not to pull any punches. He tells it like it is. And Coach Mack does too, as well. That's why I like him so much, because their honesty about basketball and where the program is. And, you can keep firing coaches over and over again, like we talked about. But it's institutional, just like with the UNC thing. Look at NC State. They get Justin Gainey. They get a really good basketball coach, and he played at NC State. And you know what's great is I know you guys that are listening and watching that love NC State, the ones that do that.
That's like
I'm not being funny. Well, there are people.
How much of our audience do you think that is, Dave?
Every once in a while, there are people that watch us that are not ECU people. When we first started, we had a number of Carolina fans that were like, literally, they went to Carolina watching our show. What is it? You call them, Kyle, Walmart fans? What is it?
Wall Hills.
Yeah.
Walmart.
Yeah. So
Wall Hills.
They buy all their stuff from merchandise.
Yeah, they say they're a Carolina fan. They've never stepped foot on campus. They certainly aren't whatever the hell their version of the Pirate Club is called, the powder blue
Rams Club.
The Rams Club. Yeah. Same with the Duke fans that go buy the Duke hat and maybe have been to Duke Hospital, and that's about it.
Yeah. So anyway, the whole thing with Carolina you were talking about, NC State makes a great hire. I was getting ready to say I did not like Will Wade at all. Did not like him from the jump. I'm not happy for State fans as far as being, hurt, disappointed, but I'm happy you got rid of that nightmare and you have a really good guy in Justin Gainey who wants to be in Raleigh, and he's up and coming, and I think he can do a good job. I think he can relate to. He played at NC State at 96 to 2000. I remember it was the late 90s, and I looked it up, 96 to 2000. So he's going to be good. I think he'll be. In fact, somebody was joking about how NC State and East Carolina both have coaches that were part of the Rick Barnes tree. So hope for State fans that he wins more. We'll see. But as far as Carolina's concerned,
I don't hope he wins more.
Well, the Carolina situation goes back to what Kyle has talked about for years, is that when we dealt with the whole situation, not to beat a dead horse, but with Ruffin McNeil, Comfort had no plan. And I believe that this is similar. I don't think they had a plan. I do not think they had a plan. And I think that they thought because we're Carolina, we can just roll out that we've got.
Well, are they letting Bubba make the hire or
No.
No. That's the problem. They didn't let him make the football hire.
No, they did not.
And now they're Bubba Cunningham's a good AD. If they'd let him make the decisions, they'd be in good shape. But instead, you got some ass. Why hasn't he left there?
He is, isn't he?
Retiring.
Yeah.
Good. He should.
June? I think it's June.
And do you blame him?
He should take a big dump in the middle of Kenan Stadium before he leaves. I mean, it's he can come here. Does he want him and Gilbert want to work together? He can be the AD emeritus. But I think he's a smart guy. I think he would have made good hires if they let him. But instead, you got boosters running everything, which I get that. You're giving the money, you should have say, but you hire an AD for a reason. Let him do his job.
Yeah. And the Carolina way is, I hate to say this, but it's gone. It's dead. Just keeping
it's coming back, Alan. It's coming back. They're Carolina. They'll be back.
But there'll be a non-Carolina, more than likely, basketball coach for how many years to come? 3, 4, 5 years, maybe, whatever.
Hey, I want to give Stevie credit, Stevie Fly, because Stevie posted on his Facebook page. He posted, speaking of Duke, a list of the players they've had over the last several years. Now, they haven't been to an NFL. They haven't been to an NCAA championship game since 2015. But, man, if you look at the list of players that they've had, it's the who's who of college basketball and the NBA currently. But they're all one and dones. You just can't build, you just can't get anything going when you keep doing that. I'm not saying they shouldn't have signed Cooper Flagg or Con Canuple or whatever, but
What'd you say?
Con Canuple.
Canuple.
What? What's his name again?
That's his name, Con Canuple.
Yeah, Canuple. From Charlotte. He's a Hornet now. He's a Hornet now. Anyhow.
You do, and you'll clean it up.
Yeah. I thought he was Baron von Raschke's partner in the 70s.
Hey.
So, that strategy doesn't always pay off when you just get the best players and pay anything to get them and then only have them for 1 year. Houston hasn't finished anything, but Houston has players for 2 to 3 years at a time. And I hope they win something before, Calvin Sampson retires, which is probably coming up pretty soon, but he deserves to win something.
Well, I know that people are hating, but it's all good because Duke has won the ACC football championship.
Oh, there we go. He's got to defend his Duke Blue Devils here on the East Carolina podcast. People are hating. People are hating on his Duke Blue Devils.
No, hey,
Dave Blaine's giving him the talking points, I think.
No, Nina King, she has better things to do. No, I mean, the fact you got to tip your hat to her because she's done a great job as AD. And I like the fact that between her and Dr. Kevin White, they worked on the facilities at Duke were lackluster, and they've done a good job.
Did you get Patrick Johnson that gig last night calling the baseball game for Duke?
No, I did not. Nor Danny Bill.
No. Why was Danny Bill calling Duke baseball? I don't.
What?
Danny Bill and Patrick Johnson were calling the Duke game last night.
Yeah.
I don't hate that though. I wish I would have listened. I didn't.
I'd like to, nothing against. I like Mully, but I'd love to hear Danny Bill call some for our baseball games.
You mean on ESPN Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I did listen. I didn't realize who I was listening to. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't recognize Patrick Nelson's, or you used to recognize Danny Bill?
Well, no. I plus Kyle, I keep the volume really low. Like I don't really. Yeah, I don't. So I didn't know that was Danny Beal. I would have turned it up if I had known that.
Who was the guy with Mully last night for us? He wasn't bad at all.
Evan, how do you pronounce his last name?
He sounded like the guy that called the Hail Mary game against Tulsa. Is it the same guy?
He's really, I really like Evan. He is really good.
Is that the guy he didn't call the Tulsa football game in 2010, did he?
Okay, I don't know.
I swear to God, his voice sounded like that guy.
Yeah, I was on the radio that night at engineering, and you just brought up, you just made my gag reflex come back.
Wow, that was a great night.
Okay. I'm sorry.
2010
was the Ruffins' first game. I'm sorry. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the Hail Mary.
UCF. No.
Right.
No.
Yeah. I'm
no.
sorry. I'm sorry.
That was Reese Davis calling that game.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The what was the kid that made the catch? Justin Jones.
Justin Jones. Yep.
Justin Jones. I'm sorry. I'm totally 5 years off there.
Going out of that stadium,
I can just hear. Sorry, Dave. I just wanted to make the point about the announcer. I can hear his voice going, "Is it pulled in?" And I swear to God, it sounds like the same dude that was calling the baseball game last night.
It could be. I don't know. But when we were walking out of the stadium, people were in such shock. It wasn't like usually,
UCF or Tulsa.
The Tulsa game.
Yeah.
But maybe shock in the wrong way for the UCF. That clock management was horrendous.
Yeah.
December of 14. That was Lincoln Riley's last game, right? That was his last game.
Yes, it was. It was. Well, he coached the bowl game against Florida.
Yeah, but I mean, like the last one in Dowdy.
Yeah, it was.
I still not to rehash it again, but if you're carding instead of going backwards, if you threw that ball like out of bounds,
and none of that needed to be done. And I said this after the game. when everybody was talking about what should have been done, we should have done this, we should have done that. I said, you're all overthinking it. JR, can you tell me what we should have done in that situation?
Kyle, you caught me coming back from a break. So what were y'all talking about?
Tulsa, 2010.
Oh.
No, excuse me. We were. Then we said we were talking UCF 2014. So in that last sequence of events when we took the knees,
yeah,
what
and then they
should
had
we
the
have
Hail
done
Mary.
there? What should we have done there?
Go forward.
Anything but that. Maybe take 3 knees and then.
No.
I don't know.
You go forward. Go forward. Dave's remembering what I said. Everybody was overthinking what we should we kick the field goal? Should we have just thrown the ball? No. You tell your running back, and who the hell was the running back in 14? We had a good one.
Oh,
was it Cooper?
No.
No, Cooper graduated in 13.
Oh
was it Harris?
No,
Harris.
He
was at our first nostalgia party.
Satterwhite?
No. I can't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You tell your running back. You say, we're going to hand you the ball. We're going to hand you the ball 4 straight downs. Just go forward. Don't try to break a tackle. Don't try to score a touchdown. Secure the ball and just go forward. And you just keep going forward for 4 straight downs. And then you turn the ball over to UCF at about the 15-yard line. Good luck competing the Hail Mary.
Breon Allen. I couldn't think of his name.
Breon Allen. Yeah, if we'd have just done that, 4 straight downs, and then told them, now go throw a Hail Mary from the 15. Good luck.
Right.
It irritated the piss out of me. I was like, everybody from the coaching staff to the fans overthought that game. I overthought that situation. Just hand it off. Tell your back, don't break any tackles. Secure the ball, fall forward.
Yep. And we didn't have, and they didn't add that 3rd or 4th down. We didn't have a lot of time anyway, like you said. So by the time, if you go forward, like you said, 4 times.
Yeah, they would have got the ball back around the 15-yard line instead of like the 35.
We got it at 30. Yeah, we gave them to it at the 35. You're right. It's a 20-yard difference. Yep.
Yeah. So
there would have been no Hail Mary.
Yeah, that's my point. You couldn't.
Yeah, nobody can throw it that far.
Yeah.
85-yard. Oh, Alan, that's your analytics.
That's right. Nobody's going to throw it 85 yards in the air.
Alan has his own, instead of analytics, it's Alanlytics.
Yeah.
Like we always joke about, Alan and I always joke about whenever it's like the 15-yard line, are they going to kick a field goal? And I was like, yeah, that's Alanlytics, baby. Alanlytics.
I remember leaving the radio station that night after everything was done. I just basically numb. Could not believe it.
I was still living in Durham at the time, and I had to drive home. That was a long ride home. That's actually an easy drive. I got to about Raleigh. I'm like, I can't believe. Like when I got to Raleigh that night, I was like, I can't believe that happened. Like you just like.
Anyway. It's sickening. It's the opposite when it happens the other way. When you beat Tulsa on a Hail Mary, it's euphoria.
As a matter of fact, I'm glad you said that, Kyle. What's crazy about that whole thing, the guys that were freshmen that like won their first game as a freshman
lost their last home game. Yeah.
Against UCF, lost their last home game. So crazy enough. You guys want to talk more baseball? You want to go back?
I wanted to say something to Kyle. I wasn't dialed into your conversation there, but there was only 1 minute and 37 seconds left, and we were on the 15-yard line and ended up losing 20 yards.
We lost close to 20 yards. We didn't.
We took 3 knees and then was sacked for an 11-yard loss.
We would have been around the 15 if we'd have just kept going
I agree with you. We could have conceivably got a first down just rushing it up the middle.
It wouldn't have mattered if we didn't.
And if we didn't, like you said, they would have had 90 plus to go most likely.
Yeah, it was way overthought. Overthought. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, was that the beginning of the end for Ruffin?
It was the beginning and the end for Ruffin when Jeff Confer got hired. he had it out for him.
I'm just saying that game seemed to 2015. We were what 6-6 or whatever.
No, 5-7. If we'd have went 6-6,
and if we hadn't lost,
Ruffin shouldn't have been fired. And that one game shouldn't be your. Confer wanted to fire Ruffin. It was a terribly managed situation. You put it on Ruffin, you put it on Lincoln. I'm going to put it on Ruffin. He was the head coach. It was terribly managed, way overthought, and just like Blake Arrow, who I love, when he was thank God he didn't listen to him, but when he was telling Rajay to go down when he was running the touchdown back against NC State, I mean, it's overthinking, man.
Yep.
Just let him score and let your defense do their job. And I think Blake got that out of his system. Actually, you didn't see him doing any of that crap this year, but it just happens. Good coaches make bad decisions. It happens all the time. And yes, to answer your question, they used that as the beginning of the end for Ruffin. Had we had Kurt Benkirk not got hurt before the season started, we would have probably won 8 games. And I think it'd beat Florida. Looking at how close we came to beating Florida anyway, I think if you'd had Benkirk, we would have beaten Virginia Tech and Florida in the same season.
Well, yep, that is correct at 100%. I mean, in fact, our good buddy Matt Semenza was at that game in the Swamp. What was that? Was that at the 20-yard line when Blake Kemp fumbled that ball?
No, we were closer than that.
Oh, okay.
We were closer than that. We were inside the 10.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was. It was. And that was the situation we'd have went for 2 if we just got in, which would have been the right decision. But Ruffin said he would have went for 2. He was asked, which was the right decision there. You go for 2 on the road against Florida.
We were at the 5.
Yeah, I knew we were inside the 10.
Yeah.
We were inside the 10. So
I remember that game, and
we were not bad in 15. What happened in 15 after Benkirk got hurt? Summers was a situational quarterback that Ruffin was pushed into starting, and he should have just kept starting Blake Kemp and letting Summers come in off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And once we stopped that rotation, and that's really what killed us. But if you look, we beat Virginia Tech, we almost beat Florida, we lost to BYU in overtime on the road. I mean, we were not a bad football team. That was a tough league in 2015, and we should have beaten Cincinnati to go to a bowl game, the last game of the regular season.
Yep.
But unfortunately,
they kicked the field goal at the they had a walk off there at the end. They kicked that field.
Yep, a field goal. Yep. Oh, Tommy T.
And the Gators, I mean, when Carden threw that pick, it was Vernon Hargraves, who's like one of the best ever to play at Florida at DB.
You know that I want to get you guys' thoughts on, speaking of Tommy T, Senator from Alabama. He introduced the legislation. Do you guys know about that, about where you have to sit out a year?
No, but I like what I'm hearing so far.
You talking about for transferring?
Yeah, it was like last week or the week before.
Yeah, it won't never pass, unfortunately.
Because, yeah,
I wish it would. But yeah, having to sit out a year to transfer, that's something they need to bring back. They got to do something. I do think one thing you're going to see happen, which isn't really going to slow down transfers or NIL, but it will at least help the postseason and make things more organized. Blake alluded to it, and I brought it up, and I didn't know it was being talked about. I just brought it up myself. They needed to restructure the college football calendar and do away with spring ball and just start camp in July, then move the portal to the end of the academic year. And Blake mentioned about restructuring of the college football calendar. So I do think that's coming. I think the portal to save postseason bowl games and coaches from losing their mind where they don't have to do everything at one time. I think that's coming. I think we're going to see spring ball go away, start camp in July, maybe late June, and the portal open up at the end of the academic year, so kids don't have to think about it around bowl time.
Do you guys see any advantage to spring ball at all? Really? I mean,
No.
it's,
The
No.
only advantage I think there is to keeping this to keeping things like it is and having the portal in December is you get guys to in your weight program in the winter. And now if you do away with spring ball and you move your portal until the end of the academic year, and then you have a NFL style camp starting in late June, you don't get the winter workouts together. But you trust all these guys, or at least the ones that are from other FBS programs, are all going to have a good strength programs. So, but that would be the only negative I see to that. I think it makes a lot more sense, particularly with the transfer portal, to open the portal up at the end of the academic year, and then start your fall camp. I guess it would be summer camp at that point, is what you'd call it, at the end of June, 1st of July, and just practice through football season.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. And Kyle, you make a great point with that, because you got guys, as you know, that are going to school year round that are football players.
Oh, everybody does now.
Yeah, I would see them all the time back when I was going to ECU. They were taking.
Nobody goes home for summer now. That's the thing of the past.
well, let me ask a question, and I don't know the answer, so I'm asking. If I'm a young man and I'm making $200,000 for my NIL deal, how many of these kids are going to class at all?
Oh boy.
Well, that's a good question. I mean, you have to say academically eligible.
Yeah.
To be able to transfer.
Supposedly, yes.
So the university on the academic side, I don't, some of them don't, they're not going to, some of them would be the first to turn in the athletic department. So it depending on what school you're at. So I think probably, they're going to class, Alan. I understand why you're asking that though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you remember when Rashad McCants, Carolina basketball guy, he made the dean's list and he said he had never attended a class ever?
No, it's here's the deal with that situation. That is a very, 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 very sad situation, because you had people I can't think of that lady's name, but she was basically like a student advisor. She was doing their work for them, and in her mind, in her warped mind, she thought she was doing a great thing because she's keeping them eligible.
Are you talking about baseball in 2010 for us?
No.
You're talking about Carolina basketball
and football.
Okay.
Yeah, and football.
What are you talking about? Baseball in 2010?
Didn't some players get suspended and kicked off the team in 2010?
Yeah, you know what? We lost a winning season because of that.
I thought that was Billy Godwin's best team overall.
It was.
And a bunch of them got kicked off the team because somebody was writing their papers for them.
It was either 17 or 27 games that we forfeited.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah,
I think it was 17. And in any event, we had a losing season that year, but we didn't. We won a lot of games and had a good team.
Yeah, we had a really good start, and then that scandal broke, and it was just, from that point forward.
I don't have any memory of that.
Yeah, that was the 2010 season.
There's a reason for that. You put it away. I had forgotten until you mentioned that, Alan. I had forgotten all of that.
I was in the middle of the engineering for all those games. That's why I remember.
I'm trying to think what the hell I was doing spring of 2010.
And we started off, remember 2009, we went to the Super Regional with
Carolina.
Beat South Carolina and did all that. 2010, boy, I think we started off something like maybe 18-4 or something like that before the scandal broke, end of March, 1st of April, and then it was just a disaster from that point forward.
Yeah, that's just nuts. But man, memories. I had forgotten all about.
Guys, you think about it seriously. I know Duke, a lot of the players that play for Duke, play basketball, are very intelligent, very smart kids, are going to do well in life. But you cannot convince me that all these kids that they're getting to play basketball at Duke are academically, what's the word I'm looking for? Capable of staying eligible at Duke. I'm sorry. I just can't.
No, how dare you? How dare you, Alan?
I'm sorry. I mean,
how dare you?
And there's so many great kids and smart kids, but you can't tell me some of these kids, they're just not prepared to go to Duke academically. They're just
Wow,
not.
how dare you?
Well, I know.
Duke would never do that.
Or Duke's not the only one, but that's just a great example to me of where we've gone with this.
The biggest.
Some of those kids from Duke might even be amphibious.
Yeah,
you can use your left and right hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Mr.
Shackelford.
Yeah.
Speaking of great basketball, Kinston.
Is he from Kinston? I think he was. Yeah.
He's a Kinston.
Yeah, he was.
There's a lot of amphibious people in Kinston.
Yeah, he and I had the same doctor, so I saw Charles quite a bit.
Nice.
For a few years. Yeah.
Did you ask him if he was still amphibious?
It was Charles was a tragedy. Actually, he should have had a long pro career, and the stuff messed him up.
Hey, Dave, before we wrap up basketball, okay, so obviously Corey Cocker announced that he's entering the portal. That really, I'm going to use a bad word here. That pissed me off because I take back every nice thing I said about him. I know, Kyle. But, he was the third highest paid Pirate on the roster, and he sucked for the first half of the season, and we stuck with him. And he got much better. No, he got much better. And, I wanted him to return because, hey, now, he's not a starting point guard. Let's face it. But he could give us some quality minutes. He didn't turn over the ball a lot, had a lot of assists, and really started nailing 3-pointers there at the end of the season. In any event, now he's transferring. I think we need to have some type of contract or something where you got to stay 2 years. Like if you're going to get this kind of money, you can't bolt after one good season. We got to do something with the contracts.
You have to give a percentage of the money back.
Yes, the answer is what Somerville's trying to do. You have to sit out a year because if you have to sit out a year, you're not going to be.
Yeah, but you admitted, Kyle, that's never going to happen. So we got to go to the next step.
I don't know. No. I didn't say it would never happen. I said I didn't think it would pass right now.
It'll eventually. They're going to have to do something because you guys we brought up the point a couple times on the show, but you have a guy that's gone from school to school to school to school, like 4 different schools. Like,
Ezra Asur or whatever.
Yeah, you're. What allegiance do you have? There's a guy. If a guy transfers to one place, it's one thing. Maybe he wasn't getting the playing time. Maybe he and the coach sticking along, whatever. But when you have a guy that's like every single year he's basically a free agent. How can you say like such and such is a Pirate when they're
not?
They're not. They lose all Pirate privileges at that point.
Yeah, and that's how I look at it going forward.
Anybody that jumped ship is not a Pirate.
And that's
well said.
The NCAA created this mess, and now it's going to consume them. The NCAA is a toothless tiger. They don't own a ball. They don't own a court. They really don't. NCAA as an organization is in big trouble.
Well, here's what happened with them.
They have weak leadership too, with Charlie Martin, and before him also, and they never win court cases.
Here's the thing: we have a situation where the Supreme Court is divided. It's always 5-4, maybe 6-3. With the whole NCAA, they got their tails kicked. The court's divided, and they still went 9-0 on the NIL case. 9-0 is what NCAA lost. So that's embarrassing when you have a court that's divided, like our Supreme Court has been for years. But yet, the NIL case, it was like they didn't get a single justice to vote for him. It was all
the NCAA. Go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead.
What I was going to say is here's the problem. My biggest problem, you talk about with the transfer stuff. Literally now, one of the appeals to collegiate sports, besides, you just have a passion for your alma mater, you love it, or you just grew up around that school, was these kids are doing it for the love of the game. They're not getting paid, or they're getting paid minimum, or these are our guys, they're Pirates. And now you literally, in professional sports, you guys have contracts. If a guy signed with the Cubs, he's got a 3-year deal. He's going to be there unless he gets traded until he becomes a free agent. And now you don't know who's going to be there next year. So I'm not going to get attached to any players anymore until their senior year.
Yeah.
It's just no need to. They're just Pirates, and I cheer for the school. I cheer for the football program. I'm excited for football. I'm just as excited for football as I've ever been. It's like Blake said. You have to adapt. I don't like it, and I'm going to continue to bitch for change. But I'm still going to enjoy the game. But no, these kids, uh, there's very little loyalty. There are some exceptions. Brock Spalding would be the latest one that comes to mind.
Yep.
Um,
RJ Felton.
yeah, Carr. What's the first
Definitely
name?
Carr.
Huh?
Oh, you're talking about
Preston Carr.
Preston Carr.
Yeah, Preston Carr.
Yeah, the guys like that are the exception to the rule. And all these transfers, we welcome them in, and I hope they're successful, and I hope they stay a couple years. And I'm glad they're Pirates. And people will say, well, you're a hypocrite because you don't like this player or this player because they left. Well, no, it's not that I don't like them. It's I don't care anymore.
Right.
I don't
You're
wish
not a pirate.
anything bad.
We're invested in Pirates, Kyle, and they're no longer
Exactly.
Pirates. So who cares?
I don't wish anything bad on Caton Hauser. I'm using him because he's an obvious example. I don't wish anything bad on him in Illinois, but I don't give a damn if he's successful at Illinois. I don't want him to go break his leg, but I don't give a damn if he throws 20 picks. I don't care.
Yeah.
why would we care? Exactly. Why would we care?
Exactly.
No, I agree.
Somebody
sent me stats today on Lance Williams, who left after having a pretty good Conway regional after doing nothing during the regular season. He went to Maryland, and they texted me his stats, which he's just awful, like the worst of awful. He's one of the worst pitchers in America.
Well, leaving for Maryland,
I didn't even know because I'm not following it.
I did. I remember because I remember thinking, why the hell would you leave for Maryland?
Exactly. And here's another thing: when do you guys remember a couple
in baseball?
Yeah, exactly. Do you remember a couple of years ago when Zach Root left us, and everybody was like, "Oh, Zach Root." I was like, "I don't care about Arkansas. I could care less."
Yeah, me too. Same.
He should have stayed with us. He didn't.
Man, he seemed like a different dude at Arkansas, though. Like he went with the full beard, and he was like very demonstrative on the mound. It was just like a Zach Root that I didn't even know. So it was weird. It was like it was not even the same player. So yeah, I didn't pay any attention to him either.
Yeah,
the NCAA was a benevolent dictatorship for so long. You couldn't buy a kid a sport coat. You couldn't buy him a Pepsi. If you look what Eric Dickerson and Craig James and that crowd got put on the death penalty. And everything that they got put on the death penalty for now is perfectly legal in college athletics.
SMU is the only program.
Yeah.
Hey, we can pay players now. Okay, you're in the ACC.
Yeah.
We remember when you did it before. You were really good at it.
I mean, hey, Alan, you remember back then when the governor of Texas, was in on the scheme of paying people.
Right.
And, it wasn't there's so many times that you have money and you do the handshake, the $20 handshake, whatever.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about a daggone, like a briefcase full of cash. Not
Dave, we're talking about the Gulf Coast, Texas and Louisiana, and governors and corruption with sports. That's synonymous.
The NCAA slapped them on the wrist and said, "Don't do that again." SMU said, "Okay, we won't do that again," and never stopped doing it. They never stopped doing it.
No,
and they should give it. And you guys probably disagree with this, but I think they should give SMU back every trophy that they took and all that for that time period.
I disagree.
No, I'll tell you why.
I'll tell you why I disagree. Well, tell me why you agree, and I'll tell you why I disagree.
I'll tell you why they should get it, because they gave Reggie Bush his Heisman back because of the same thing he was getting paid. So if they give Reggie Bush, a Heisman winner, his trophies back and acknowledgement of him winning, then they should do, Alan, if they're going to do that. I know that that's a different, sports club. I understand that in New York, but they should, if they're going to do that, then I agree with you.
Well, here's why I disagree with it, and the Heisman isn't controlled by the NCAA, but
right.
The other teams weren't. Well, yes, there were other teams paying players, but they can't prove that. So theoretically, nobody else was paying players. So that's why that's why I say they shouldn't get their stuff back because.
Oh, that's right, Johnny. All of us are NASCAR fans. You know what Kyle's saying, don't you? You're only cheating if you get caught.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah, you are, because if they keep cheating, everybody was cheating back then. Everybody was cheating in that conference. And are you kidding me? In the Southwest Conference, that was the culture. I don't think it was everywhere, but I know that conference was doing it. Like as a kid.
Oklahoma they had their share of cheating as well.
Barry Switzer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Ron Meyer at SMU. I mean, he wasn't as dirty as Pete Carroll at USC. I'm sorry, he wasn't.
Pete Carroll is another example of a guy that he was letting anything and everything. You want to talk about what is it, that coach control thing? The guy, you know why the guy went to the Seahawks? The guy went to the Seahawks because he knew that he was getting ready to be busted. And he says, the Seahawks is my dream job. Come on. And I don't have anything against the Seahawks, but
I don't either.
Do you remember when he said that? And the reason it was his dream job is so he could get away from USC, so he wouldn't have any.
He's not a man of character. Let's just put it that way.
No, I mean he's won a national championship and a Super Bowl. I give him credit for that, but I guess he's better off being in the pros. Well, now it doesn't matter because he can do whatever he wants. But
he's with the Raiders.
He got fired, right?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, from the Raiders. Yeah, I think he's fired.
That shows you what I pay attention to the NFL. Almost nothing.
Alan Vick is the new coach for the Raiders.
Pete Carroll was fired.
Okay, I don't follow the NFL. I'm sorry. After the Redskins were stolen from me, I don't care. I'm a Panthers fan, but I don't even really follow it.
Speaking of the Redskins, guys, before we move on to whatever, Johnny, there's a guy on YouTube named Dave Volsky, Volsky, and he has remastered Volsky, and he has remastered. He has remastered hundreds of games.
Yeah. With color?
Everything's good. The pregame, the postgame, the NFL Today, the halftime. A lot of those games are like 4 hours of content. But you need to look at Dave Volsky and you need to subscribe to his channel if you love old NFL.
I will do it.
I have a question, and I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna leave the show. I'm not forever, but just for tonight.
Wait a minute. You're supposed to tell everybody you were leaving.
Yeah, I know that was last week. I've been up here an hour and a half, and I went up here from the beginning. But so earlier we talked about the Guardians and the Indians, and then y'all just talked about the Redskins and the Commanders. What is the best rebrand, in your opinion, of any of the? I had to change my name because it's racist in sports. I know to me, there's only one right answer. But what do y'all think the best rebrand is?
Would you go with the Red Storm with St. John's?
No,
it's not bad, but no, that's not the one I'd go with.
Because Marquette had they were
the Warriors. And now they're the Golden Eagles.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the Warriors?
You're talking about a rebrand because of political correctness. Is what you're
correct.
I'm going to go with University of Louisiana Monroe. I mean,
you're close.
They were forced to take the Indians' name and put it in the dustbin, and they went with Warhawks. I like that. It's aggressive. It's they're not being pansies about it. They're the Warhawks. So I say ULM.
I'm going to go same conference, different team. I think Arkansas State, the Red Wolves.
The Red Wolves instead of the Indians.
I think it's a better mascot. I think it sounds good. I think it looks good.
That's what I wanted my team to be if they were going to change it. But anyway.
Me too, Dave. I voted Red Wolves. Nobody listened, though.
I said there's so much that you can do. I know that we're
I would have just called them the Washington Red. I would have just called them the Red. Just call them the Red, and you just get away with the Indian logo. You just call them the Washington Red.
Well, here's the thing about it is that, with the whole thing is that, not to me, I find it very hypocritical because some teams are allowed to keep it, some people are not.
Who was allowed to keep it?
No, there's not that, Dave. That's not true. Some teams cave in.
Well,
And
Yeah,
some
who
teams
allowed
yeah,
don't.
that's right.
Well, who are you referring to? Because the Seminoles has permission from Seminole Nation. They consider it an honor.
Right, but the Braves are a perfect
Well,
example.
Yeah.
No, look,
they
I don't.
didn't cave, and also
I want their name.
is that is that? I mean, a Brave. I mean, isn't that? I mean, that's like Indian can be all right. So Indian can be taken as a derogatory term. Redskin certainly could be taken as a derogatory term. You can't take brave as a derogatory term. Maybe brave is complimentary.
Braves, any kind of. But my thing is, they need to get rid of all the Indian names or keep.
No, Dave. No, they don't. The teams that have strong backbones can keep them.
But
The teams
I
that
know,
are
Johnny,
weak
you're right.
can cave in
But
and name their team the freaking Commanders, which
But here's
is
the deal,
ridiculous.
Johnny, if you remember, they
The
took away.
teams that caved because of corporate extortion.
Again, though, so if you look at the
As
teams,
Redskins,
Stanford was the first team to cave, by the way.
they took away our trademark, which meant that the team couldn't make any money, or if they did make money, you and I, the four of us on this show, could copy the Redskin logo, and we could make money off of it. So,
but I guess my point though is, yeah, all that everything is everybody's points are good, but with Redskins again, I mean, you could see that where that could be taken as offensively. You can see where the term Indian is taken offensively. They want to be called Native Americans. There's nobody that could take the term Braves offensively.
they got away with they got rid of the chop, right? Which I love.
No, hell no, they didn't, Dave. Are you kidding me?
No.
The Chop House is the name of the freaking bar out there in the outfield.
And then with Kansas City, the Chiefs.
Yep. I'm just saying, I believe they should have kept it the way it was. I think it's a brand. I think that when it comes to it, as a crazy, when this controversy started, it was like people like, I lost respect. I used to love Bob Costas. I used to love him. But basically, it was this is one area where I agree. It was a media-driven story.
Yeah.
And they could not help themselves with it. And finally, I just had to stop. Whenever Bob Costas was on Sunday Night Football, I just put it on mute because I said, that's exactly the way that I can handle. I can't say the words I said about him.
I know.
But
I'm going to throw something out to Kyle. I'm going to throw something out to Kyle.
Okay,
I'm going to throw something
I
out
wonder
to
if
you.
you're going to acknowledge what I was saying, because nobody's acknowledged it. So.
Okay, well, probably not. I will after I finish this. I know you have a fondness, a little bit of a fondness for Eastern Michigan University because of the connections. But damn them for getting rid of the name Hurons and going with Eagles, while Central Michigan said, F it, we're keeping Chippewas.
Well, wait a minute. How long? I mean, that was they've been the Eagles for forever. How long ago did
they were the Hurons, I want to say early 2000s.
Dude, I don't remember them being anything but the Eagles.
No, they were definitely the Hurons. Definitely.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I think it was probably the
named after the Indians because they were okay. So Eastern was the Hurons and Central was the Chippewas.
Yeah, they're the Chips. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Central still the Chippewas. But
Hold
Eastern.
on. Give me a minute. I'm going to get the answer to this.
Okay, Alexa.
Alexa. No, he's looking.
It wasn't that long ago, I don't think.
We're playing the Jeopardy music.
While he's doing that, I'll say Stanford was the first team to cave and drop the name Indians to the Cardinal.
You're right.
All right, JR, you're 100% right. They were the Hurons. You're 100% wrong of when it happened. They became the Eagles in 1991.
Okay, I wasn't that far off. It seems
no,
like
you really were.
It seems like it was just a few years ago.
Eastern Michigan became the Eagles in 1991.
Alexa, stop. You've already clarified this. Yeah, I knew in my lifetime, not my lifetime, I was 11 in 91. But since I've followed sports regularly, I've only known them as the Eagles.
Okay.
Not the Philadelphia Eagles.
No.
Who is playing the keyboard?
That would be Alex. He has a new passion.
Yes.
In addition to sports, he loves musical instruments now.
Are
Well,
we going to
that's
get?
That's awesome.
Are we going to get knocked off the air for playing music in the background? Or?
No, that's not copyrighted.
Mary Had a Little Lamb is copyrighted.
Okay, so the one thing I wanted to nobody ever acknowledged this, and I'd like, do you guys? I mean, forget your passion for the Redskins, and I'm not saying I agree with the name changes at all because I don't. But do you not see a difference between the word Indian, the word Redskins, and the word Braves or Chiefs? Do you not see where one could be considered offensive, where there's nothing offensive about the word Braves or Chiefs?
Yeah. Okay, Kyle. I will answer that. I do see a difference. However, the people responsible for the name change weren't Indians. They weren't Redskins.
Right, I
They
agree
weren't.
with that.
They were just people that just wanted to ruin it for everybody else.
They were angry white. They were angry white
Well,
women.
I wasn't going there, but
Angry white women.
No, there were a lot of.
Am I saying angry white women? Am I saying white twice? They're angry white women.
They're so white, you got to mention it twice.
Yes,
Right.
They're. In
White
fact, I might even
squares.
call them white skins.
Well, too white.
It came down to they got to the Pepsis and people like that and
FedEx.
Yeah, FedEx and Pepsi. In 2020, let's just face it, guys, COVID or no COVID, for a couple of years, this country absolutely just lost its mind.
Oh, it did. Yes, yes.
Absolutely lost
And look,
its mind.
if you want to know, and look, I'm gonna get real political here just for a moment. If anybody wants to know why that orange idiot is in the White House, any Democrats that want to know, look in the mirror, baby. Look in the mirror, because it's your fault. It's your fault that people like me turned on the party. It's your fault that pushed all this BS, all this political correct crap. You told me I was racist. You told me as a white Southern male that liked the Confederate flag that I was racist. And, therefore, I left your party. And, I regret voting for who I voted for. And anybody can get mad at me for that if you want to. I don't care.
No.
But you're the reason. The Democratic Party is the reason that Donald Trump is in power now. Because all the nonsense of BLM and you can't have Native American names for anything, and this is racist and that's racist, and you can't say he if she's a she, even though he is really a she and she's a he, and that's a this and this is a that, and what's your pronoun, pal? And all that bullshit is the reason the Trumpster's in office.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Can I get an amen, brother?
Amen. Hey, Dave, I just want to lighten things up and say, Kyle, I'm going to give you two examples that have happened this season of name changes that are completely ridiculous.
Okay.
2004, I think it was. Syracuse. Come on. What is wrong with the Orange Men? Now they're just the orange. Because they're men?
Yeah. Because they had orange women. Yeah, that one was stupid. I agree with you.
Okay, and then the other one was very recently, 2015, in the line of the Hurons and the Chippewas. We had North Dakota State. No, wait, they weren't. I think it was just North Dakota, not the
North
state.
Dakota State's always been the Bison.
They've been the Bisons. But you know what? That's funny too. I'll get back to that. North Dakota.
Native Americans used to kill bison.
Yeah, but North Dakota is the Fighting Hawks now. But I think like 5 or 7 years ago, they were the Fighting Sioux.
I think not South Dakota, wasn't it?
No, North Dakota. North Dakota was the Fighting Sioux, and now they're the Fighting Hawks. Now,
So
the Sioux Indians, I don't know. I just don't get it.
Did the Sioux Indians not want to be associated with them anymore? Or
I don't know.
Because like Florida State, the Seminoles wanted to keep the name.
Yeah, and Chief Osceola and the nation is supporting them.
Seminole Nation fully supports them. Yeah.
All this stuff is making yard gnomes look logical.
Well, here's the one thing about what he just said. If the Sioux Nation did not want to be involved with the university anymore, I can respect that. That's not white people that are getting mad for another race. That's the Sioux Nation going, we don't want the name to be associated with your university. Now, if that happened, then that's fine. But if they didn't do it, if that's not the reason they changed their name, then it's idiotic.
Well, just the whole fact of that whole thing. Just think about if I'm a brand, okay, like the Sports Objective, that's offensive. That's offensive. That's offensive. And people keep saying it over and over again. The Sports Objective is offensive. As crazy as that sounds, it in our society right now. I was thinking about this.
We've said that. People have said the Sports Objective is offensive.
Well, that's a whole nother show. But Alan and I
only remember somebody wanting to cower down to it. I don't.
Yeah. Alan and I have been friends for almost 30 years. And he and I, you know what? He and I have been close friends for a long time. And guess what? He and I plan on being, as long as I have breath in me, he'll be my friend from my vantage point. And I'm not saying that to call you out. My point is, he and I don't have to have the same opinion on everything. But that our society has come into a point where Alan and I must, if we're going to be friends, we have to dress the same. We have to look the same.
Yeah.
We have to. I mean, you know.
Well, politically, you have to agree on everything.
And let's be honest. I don't mind telling you. Politically, Dave and I disagree on quite a few things.
It's pretty obvious.
But he's going to be my buddy until the end of time, and that's just that. Hey, we can agree to say, okay, we've discussed this. We agree to disagree. I still love you. You know, and we can move on. And that's what real friendship and real adults do.
Well, another thing is too, you have people like Ted Kennedy back in the day in the Senate, the lion of the Senate, that was more liberal than the average person, right? And he would fight like crazy on the Senate floor about issues. Then later on, he and
have a beer.
Colleague, they'd be at the tavern laughing while everybody was, all upset about, whatever they talked about on the Senate floor. And that's what we have problem in this country is that it's okay to disagree. It's okay. Like, for example, if Alan says, well, I don't like that band, I'm not going to get mad at him or, well, Dave, how in the world do you like that movie? I didn't like that. It's even that trivial now that people are, I don't like this TV show, the movie. My kids don't agree with me on everything, but I love them more. Those are two people I'll take a bullet for any step.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah, my daughter and I are very far apart politically right now, but I would die for her, tonight, and she loves me.
I'm glad both of you gentlemen would die for your children.
And she loves me unconditionally, and we differ quite a bit politically, and we talk about it all the time. And if we can't come to a middle ground, we drop the subject and move on to something else.
Justice said it's to the point where you can't say anything to anyone without offending them.
I'm offended by that, Justin.
Oh, son of a bitch. I know. I mean, I God knows, me and Dave have knockdown dragouts, but you should be able to disagree with people, have different opinions on things. Shit, sometimes I disagree with myself. I'll change my mind in a damn minute.
No, but like that, the thing is that we both love the Pirates. He and I may disagree on how we get there, but we still love the Pirates. And
but I mean, I'm serious. So I will change my stance on things. And some people look at that as flip flopping. No, it's a sign of intelligence. You're open to other ideas and opinions.
And we have a lot more. We have a lot more things in common than we do not in common.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. But Dave, I was going to ask you. You said that there's some things you like that your kids don't like, and vice versa. What don't you like?
Me?
Yeah, you like everything.
Do I?
Yes. I've never heard you say,
music.
I hate X, Y, Z. Yeah, you like everything. So I want to know what it is you like, what you don't like that your kids like.
I mean,
what are you most passionate about?
It may be pop artists that are like current artists that I don't get, but it's their music.
Like who? Give me somebody that you don't like musically.
Oh God, I'll have to think of.
See, there you go.
No. I do have some. The one that I love right now, probably the last decade or more, is Bruno Mars, like the modern song music. It'll come to me. I'm trying to think. There's some that I'm like, oh my God.
Dave loves Florida Georgia Line, and I don't, and I can't stand them.
Me neither, Alan. I can't stand them either.
I mean,
well, we had a chance. They had a country radio seminar.
Well, we're not saying they're bad people.
No, they're good. They're probably good guys, but musically, I would rather take a 2x4
I think
to a certain body part and listen to the music.
2013, I got a chance to a country radio seminar. I got a chance to hang out with them probably for about an hour, 30 minutes or an hour. They were both.
I got a wonderful example of this. Parmalee, who their old music is fine. It's nothing like that I'm crazy about, but it's fine. It's no problem with it. Their current music, it is absolute sellout pop, horrible. Their current hit Cowgirl is horrible. Florida Georgia Line level horrible. But they are loyal to Eastern North Carolina and ECU. Right now, just having a recent #1 hit. You know how much tickets are? But first of all, they're playing the Farmville Dogwood Festival, having tons of hits. National tours, headline arenas. They're playing the Farmville Dogwood Festival. You know how much tickets are? $25. Do you know how much little they have to be charging to do that show in Pitt County to charge $25 a ticket? I mean, so there's an example of I respect Parmalee for not forgetting who they are and where they're from and staying loyal to Eastern North Carolina, Pitt County, Martin County, and ECU, but I can't stand their music currently. So it's a great example of how you can respect people as people, but not like their music as artists.
Yeah.
Well, what about James? He said that me and Kyle have had some knockdown dragouts, but we probably love and respect each other more than some blood brothers.
Yeah, absolutely. No, me and James have
Called you, by the way?
Huh?
Has he called you or you called him? And
actually called me the other night during the show. We need to actually have an old school James and Kyle powwow. But I'll tell you a funny story. One of the biggest fights me and James ever got in, he's probably laughing right now if he's still watching, we ever got in was about SMU, Hawaii, and Louisiana Tech. And it is too complicated to discuss on the air, and quite frankly, I'm not sure I remember all the details, but it was involving those three teams. It was the year Hawaii went undefeated, whatever year that was. They played Georgia in the bowl game, but we got into a huge argument about something college football related, and started cussing each other out, and didn't talk for a couple of weeks. That's one of the biggest arguments we ever got.
No offense.
We were in our 20s at the time, too. So.
And every time somebody says no offense, you're about to be offended. That's just 100. The way it goes.
But if you hear a but coming,
no offense, but you're about to get it. You might as well get ready.
Alan, bless your heart.
yeah, that's too. When they say bless your heart, it really means you're a dumbass.
You're a dumbass, James LMAO. See the argument. He remembers it.
Yeah, but I think that's the great thing is that when. For example, when we have awesome listeners and viewers, and they say things I don't agree with, but I'm not going to crush them because I like the fact that people put their opinions up and they know they can come on our show. And if they're on Facebook, YouTube, we're everywhere, Instagram, X, whatever, they can come on and they can talk about how they feel about the team. And sometimes I'll just be honest. Thank God for Kyle. He's put up with me a long time, and Johnny and Alan and Bubba and Matt and Stevie and everybody else who's been on the show, because we've had some years that were not, especially when we first started the podcast, the last year of Scotty Montgomery. And thank God I had Kyle, like different ones that was kind of like back then, I don't know, Kyle, for you, but it was like a support group.
Well, it was, I mean, there was always something to talk about. There was a goal in mind at that time, getting rid of Scotty, getting rid of, we had already gotten rid of Confer, but getting rid of Scotty and I don't remember. Yeah, Cecil went too long. He became Beth Merkelson again. And
oh my God, that was the funniest thing that I will. In fact, here's Justin. He said, "Thank God for Kyle during them years." Yeah, exactly. The funny thing is, Kyle and I had a similar situation with Cecil Staten, in that he and I were talking. He said, "Dave, how in the world did we hire a guy that you and I?" It was funny because
I know how we hired him.
Because
I know exactly how and why we hired him.
Kyle and I, at different times of that same day, had Googled Cecil Staten.
Yeah.
That night, he and I talked, and he said, "How is it that you and I can literally Google a guy and find this out?"
Beth Merkelson, yeah.
Yeah. The whole
Well,
bad.
you know why we hired him. You know how we hired him. He was
Yeah.
your old boss.
Yeah. So moving right along.
Yeah,
And your old boss too, I'm sure. I'll let him.
yeah, but yeah, for a couple, do I have some stories, and so does Dave.
Alan, one of my favorite parts of the 2025 football campaign is Alan and I were talking, and then like 20, 30 seconds later, boom!
Yeah, literally, we brought this gentleman up in conversation for just a quick second, and we opened the elevator doors open, and there he stands. I swear to God.
Alan, say his name, and he appears. I don't know if you get that or not. I thought if anybody will hear you.
But I got you.
Yeah.
It's just, man, Dave's got stories, and I've got better stories, and I have a lot of respect for that gentleman. In some ways, I'm very, he's done really good things. He's done very well for himself.
Sure.
But behind closed doors, it is what it is.
Yep. So let's get back before we get out of here, because I'm looking at it's almost 10 o'clock. I've got my my curfew at 10. Hey, Johnny, I'm going to start with Johnny. Johnny, I'm putting you on the spot.
Go ahead.
I think you can handle this. Will we get a sweep this weekend at Clark LeClair Stadium with playing Charlotte, the 49ers?
I'm going to say probably not, but I really, really, really am hoping that we do. It's just a tough task. I mean, with the pitching situation. Hey, real quick, Dave, I'm just getting texted by someone that said, hey, you didn't really talk about Charlotte too much. Give me 90 seconds. I just want to give you a couple of names to look for this weekend. Okay, so the American Conference Pitcher of the Week last week was Ethan Norby, as could be expected. He was spectacular. But the runner-up was a Charlotte pitcher. And he I didn't write his name down. Adam Stanton. He pitched 8 innings, only allowed 4 hits, and no runs, no earned runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Now he's not a starter, but he pitched 8 innings. So in the Friday game, it's because the starter only went 1 inning. So we could see the same thing again. So look out for Stanton, because he got it done last week. We'll see what he does, this week. He's a right-hander. And the American Conference Player of the Week was designated hitter Dylan Kuntz. And he's a graduate senior. He's from Campbell, and then he went to Kentucky, and now he's at Charlotte. Okay, so first of all, I have a problem with his nickname. It's Biscuit. We have the original Biscuit. Burley, he's Biscuit. So I'm not going to call this guy Biscuit. I refuse. But Dylan Kuntz had a nice week last week. He had 16 hits in his last 6 games, including 4 home runs, and he's batting 370.
Wait a minute. Hold on one second. I got to comment on something you said, JR. Where is Matt or Bubba that can answer this question for me? Maybe Dave or Alan can, or maybe you, JR. I don't know. But we had a football player. Was it Devon Claybrook? Was it Devon Claybrooks? Was he Biscuit?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured it out for myself, and you guys confirmed it.
Yes. I was just going with baseball. We had the original Biscuit. Burley.
Yeah. That is, but that I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. That is one of the. Well, maybe we could do Sunday night. We could do this topic. So we'll do some homework for you guys. What is the most overrated nickname in the history? Like, that's one of the most overrated nicknames. There's so many people that
you mean overused.
Yeah, but I think Burley got his because he was like DJ Biscuit. That was like his deal. He was like a part-time DJ, and he went by DJ Biscuit. So Biscuit fits Burley. It's his. I mean, we're in Biscuit. What other university in the nation is Biscuit Central better than East Carolina? Nobody.
Yeah,
so he deserves it. He deserves that nickname.
Anywhere in
and I'm not giving it to Dylan. I'm not calling Dylan Kuntz Biscuit. I'll just tell you that right now. And hopefully,
I know what
we can win the DH title this weekend.
What am I going to call him, Dave?
I'll text you.
What am I going to call him?
Okay, so I'm done. I'm just going to say, hopefully we out DH them this weekend. That's the key to victory. How about that?
All right, yeah, I there you go. We need somebody in the DH position that can hit with some power.
All right, I sent it to you guys in a group chat.
Okay.
Okay, I thought you were going somewhere completely else, but
I just expected you to say. I was waiting for you to say that. Instead of biscuit, you can call him something else. But anyway, so yeah, I thought y'all were going to.
I will call him Scone. Call him Scone, JR.
Okay, there you go. I'll call him.
It's an English biscuit, a scone.
Yeah, they're good with coffee. Scones are different than biscuits, though. Scones are much drier. Like they're good for with coffee.
Go. Perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have I ever? Yeah, I've had a lemon scone. Where was that?
Yeah, that's the only scone I've ever had was lemon, and
Where
I got it.
was I when I had the lemon scone?
I was in Winterville at Biscuit and the Bean.
I'm trying to think of where I was. I think I was at a hotel, but I don't remember what hotel it was.
You did it right. Then you partied all night.
No, I don't think. I'm trying to remember where I was when I got the stupid lemon scone from the hotel.
Yeah.
California.
I think they're an English thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, that's an English biscuit, a scone. Correct. I'm for the life of me, I'm gonna sit here and try to figure out what the hell hotel you know what? I think it was Myrtle Beach. Back in the fall for the Coastal Carolina game. I think that's where I had the lemon scone.
I don't
remember what hotel I stayed at. Who gives a crap?
I can't spell croissant, so there we go.
Lots of crumbs with scones, though, Kyle. You got to be careful. They just like crumble when you bite into them.
Yeah, they do. But sometimes biscuits do too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but we're in one of the biscuit capitals of the United States here in Eastern
Yes,
North
we
Carolina.
are.
With Bojangles and Chick-fil-A and Biscuitville.
Chick-fil-A's biscuit.
No. Go to a gas station and get a cheese biscuit. Go down to Washington, or I think Kenny insisted I call it Little Washington.
No, Original Washington.
Original Washington, yeah. Go to that old Shell station there, and they'll fix you up a cheese biscuit like you've never had before. Guaranteed.
Hoop cheese biscuit.
Yeah, the Little
Yes, sir.
Rocket
Definitely hoop cheese from Ashburn.
Little Rocket. We're going to Farmville.
Yeah, Little Rocket in Farmville has really good cheese biscuits.
Never been to Little Rocket. Little Rocket.
That is
my house. I'm only like 25 minutes from Farmville, and I never go.
Need to make the trip. You'll be glad you did.
Yes, that is a great place. By the way, I wanted to tell you guys before we get out of here too. I want to give a shout out, and you guys have heard me talk about this business before. But my van broke down again today. Yeah. So thankfully,
something like Napoleon Dynamite there, JR.
But Robertson Brothers, I want to give them a shout out. Joey Robertson, the owner, I called them. They brought the wrecker out and towed me in. And the guy that I know that is one of the mechanics dropped me off at my house. Where do you get that kind of service? And so I want to give them a shout out because they looked out for me this afternoon. If not, I probably would still be at Crandall's Grocery on 903. So
shout out.
Well, their name's Robertson, so you got to trust them.
No T, my friend. Robertson.
Oh, no T. Yeah.
And the next question is, Dave, what are you doing in that van that keeps causing such issues? I mean, really, man.
You got to find. I don't know what it is this time.
Well, you got like 300,000 miles on it.
No, it's not. And that's the thing. Once I get everything on it, it'll be good. So we're working on it. But
that van has been many places and seen many things.
I got it in.
And it's transported some harps as well, hasn't it?
That's correct. That's from the previous owner. That's correct. She's my sister's harp teacher. Amy plays the harp. So, there you go. That's useless trivia. I know nobody cares about that, but anyway, I wanted to give them a shout out because I appreciate that's why when people laugh that I'm from a small town, I just let them know, well, you know what? This same place will pump your gas. They'll wash your windshield. They check your oil. I miss those kind of places that when I was a little kid, maybe 5-10 years old, especially those gas stations we used to have, and they still.
Last time I've seen that, it was Goober at the pump.
Well, you need to,
Judy.
Johnny, you need to come. And Kyle, do you like?
Tell me about the soda. What's going on with the old time? Like they have
They
a
got the
soda
glass
cooler.
bottle sodas.
Yeah, they still have that, and they still have the. By the way, you guys asked before, and they brought it up. They won the business of the year for the chamber. They still have those 1960s coolers.
Yeah, okay, good deal.
Yeah, Mountain Dew in a glass bottle is
Yes, they do
the
have
bomb.
it. Yes.
No.
Yeah,
Regular Mountain Dew.
there's certain drinks that are better. Well, almost any drink's better out of glass.
Yeah.
You know,
Johnny, you guys need to come. I know that Kyle. I'm sure Kyle, and I'm not sure about Alan, but you guys have come. We got to go one night to Deadwood.
Oh, for dinner?
Yeah.
Sure, I've been to Deadwood many times. In fact, if you look on the wall when you walk in, where people have signed it and carved their names and stuff, if you look hard enough, you can find mine and Jessica's names up there from 20-some years ago.
Oh, okay. I thought like picture of the wall, like
No.
the 10 most wanted people.
No, one night. Here's a quick story for you about Deadwood. So Jessica's very quiet. Anybody, Alan, I don't know if you've met her or not, but I know Dave has many times. JR has. She's very quiet, and so her and I. This is before we were married. We were dating. It may have been her first time eating there. We went to Williamson to see my dad, and it was my birthday, and we were eating there for my birthday with my dad. And Jessica stands up in the restaurant in the corner and yells to everybody to wish me happy birthday, and has the whole restaurant sing happy birthday to me.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking she was quiet because she had no choice.
Nah, I let her talk.
Oh my gosh. Good stuff. So yeah, all right. So quickly, Alan Vic, we're gonna win 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3, 0 out of 3, 1 out of 3.
I would say we're going to take 2 out of 3.
That's my vote. 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
I'll say 2 out of 3. Though I'm hoping for a sweep.
Yeah, which makes 3 out of 4, and 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Nope.
That's what Meatloaf said.
Thank you.
I set that up.
I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
What would you do?
He won't do that.
I won't do that.
I won't.
Okay.
He won't. Hot Patootie, bless my soul. I really love that rock and roll.
We are going to, you guys, are you
we got any
great-
other Meatloaf references? Because
I got a great Meatloaf story that I cannot tell on the air because it would incriminate someone that we all know. But there is a great Meatloaf story I'll tell you guys sometime in the group chat. True story. True story.
Hey, why don't you tell it to us when we're down at Carteret Speedway?
You come on down anytime. I'll give you all the Meatloaf stories you want.
Hey,
You'll have
have they done it? Do we know what VIP tickets are for Confederate Railroad yet? What that includes?
We do not, but we will find out.
And tell them also we need seating details. It doesn't explain. Bring a lawn chair, bring a blanket, stand on your head, sit in the stands. None of that is up there.
All of that you just mentioned is legal, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, they just need to specify what you supposed to. Just stuff like that irritates me to no end.
I would say you can sit Indian style, but that wouldn't be appropriate.
I just think the ticket prices are good. $20 general admission, $40 for VIP. But what is VIP? What do you get?
If you're a VIP, they'll tell you.
You get to hang out with Danny Shirley.
All right.
And like I said in a group chat, Danny Shirley had some hit records or some chart records before he joined Confederate Railroad.
He needs a little time off for bad behavior. He charted that David Allan Cole song. So there you go. You didn't think I knew.
Well, there's a couple more, but that's very good. I'm proud of you.
Well, you told me the other night that you were going to give me tickets if I could tell you one of his solo albums that I did, and so I'm waiting for my tickets, Alan.
Well, hey.
No,
I'm not. Hey, I'm not. I keep my word.
Also, you shouldn't tell people to things like that when Google exists.
Yeah, well, I was thinking that you were smart enough, intelligent enough, and wanted to take the challenge.
I did know he had time off for bad behavior as a solo. single, but I did not know a title. You said a title of one of his albums. I had to Google that for all.
Singles. Speaking of David Allan Coe, great David Allan Coe song that you never hear and you should hear more. Tanya, Montana.
What's your favorite cutoff of Nothing Sacred?
Oh God. Me and Stevie were talking about that one time. The song where he's talking about having sex with his daughter. I was like, good God.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Another great David Allan Coe song, Don't Cry Darling, with George Jones. Great song.
Yeah.
Great song.
What a combo
My
that
favorite
is.
David Allan Coe song is probably Waylon Willie and Me.
I like The Ride is my favorite by far.
You know, he's a great songwriter and was a better than average singer when he was younger. I mean, he had a nice voice. He really did.
Yeah. Kyle and I were trying to go see him at the State Theater, but anyway.
I saw David Allan Coe, and this is no lie, and I won't go into details, but I'll tell you off the air. I saw David Allan Coe completely naked in 1994.
Congratulations.
And I'll just leave it at that. And it was
Guinness Book of World Records for something.
Yeah, he was at Sugar Baker's in Snow Hill, and one of the bartenders begged me to go to his bus to get the autograph from him, and I knew how difficult he could be. We knocked on the door. He answered the door. Wasn't wearing nothing but a smile.
Wow.
And he is tattooed from head to toe. It looked like a grub worm wearing a turtleneck.
Okay, well, thank you for not withholding that.
Well, I had to go. But anyway, he signed the autograph with no clothes on. We said thank you and went back about our business back into the
Did he
club.
seem to be excited about the giving you the autograph?
He was not as excited. He was not as excited as I thought he might be.
I'm sure he was hoping it was going to be a young lady at the door when he answered it naked.
Yeah, you got some one-legged disc jockey knocking on your damn door. I'm sure that wasn't the highlight of his night.
All right. Well, this show is going downhill quickly.
You're welcome.
We're going Snow Hill, Dave, not downhill. Snow Hill.
Johnny, Snow Hill. My geography was wrong there in Greene County, but
Sugar Bakers.
In fact, they had back when I was a teenager, they had George Jones there, and I wasn't old enough to get in.
Yeah, I told the same story about how they had Chris Ledoux there, and I wasn't old enough to get in.
Yeah. They made the mistake of running.
Crap.
They made the mistake of running out of beer in July of '93 when George Jones appeared.
You can't do that.
How was Chris Ledoux? You said you were there that night.
Yeah, Chris Ledoux was great. He was great. Now, a couple of people around him were not nice, but he was very nice.
Really? Who wasn't nice?
He had a tour manager or somebody that was a little bit difficult, but Chris himself was very accommodating.
I would think he would be. And I've never got to see him live, and I wish his son Ned would do some shows on the East Coast.
It's more like Texas.
He plays some in Texas, but it's mainly Kansas, Wyoming, Montana, Las Vegas, California, west to the Midwest, and I don't know. He's got to realize his dad has a fan base on the East Coast. If he would do an East Coast tour, I'm not saying he'd sell out 20,000 seat venues, but he could definitely sell plenty of tickets to some small venues.
Yeah.
Ned comes anywhere in North Carolina, Virginia, or South Carolina, I'm there because it's probably going to be my only chance to see him.
Yep. Same way with Hoyt Axton's son, Matt. He is very good. He's fantastic. I loved his daddy a lot, and Matt is the spitting image of his father.
That's how Ned is. Ned sounds a lot like his dad.
Yeah.
He tries to. He doesn't shy away from it. He puts out original music, but he plays his dad's music. I mean, he's not a complete impersonation act like was it Marty Haggard, Merle's son? But Ned does plenty of original stuff, but it's very much will make you think of his dad, and his voice is so similar to his dad's. And
I'll give you another one, Adrian Croce.
Yeah,
he is very good.
Jim Croce's son.
Yep, sounds a lot like him.
Ned was the drummer for Chris in Chris's band, Western Underground. For the last, in '95, I don't think he would have been. I think Ned was still probably in high school or college at that point. But towards the end, before Chris died, Ned was actually his drummer. So,
wow, I did not know that.
Yep.
All right, guys. I do have one more.
Go
ahead,
I was
Johnny.
going to throw another one out there. Kyle would probably. I don't think you're a Shooter Jennings fan, but Shooter.
Yeah, I like Shooter.
Whalen's. And then the other one was.
Don't like his grandson's struggle though.
No. I agree with you on that. Same with Hank 3. Hank 3 is just out there.
I don't mind Hank 3. I don't mind.
You don't mind him?
No.
Okay. What about
struggle does straight up rap? So it ain't for me.
No.
Steve Earle's son. That's left this world.
Steve Earle is coming to Weldon Mills.
Yeah, yes, he is.
Yeah, but his son was really
Alex loves.
No, his name wasn't Alex.
No, my son loves
Alex Earle. Your son loves Steve Earle?
I get you.
Copperhead Road. He just discovered Copperhead Road.
Man,
that's a great song.
Now, Copperhead Road.
Great song, but way overplayed.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great song.
People only know 2 Steve Earle songs, but they know them well.
Steve Earle's son was Justin Towns Earle, named after Towns Van Zandt.
Mm-hmm. Okay, not familiar with this music.
Yeah, I've never seen Steve Earle, but I love Steve Earle. Never seen him. I'd love to.
Well, he's gonna be in Roanoke Rapids.
Goodbye's all we got left to say is my favorite Steve Earle song.
And he's now a member of the Grand Ole Opry.
Yep. Just
he did a great song about New Orleans after the flood, after the hurricane, called "This Town Won't Go Away." And
Weldon Mills, the perfect place.
Awesome.
Sorry, Johnny. I was just going to say.
No. Go ahead, Dave.
Weldon Mills is like the perfect place to see Steve Earle. And I'm not getting anything out of that show or anything, but I would love to see. He's one that's very. I think
the only problem I would have with seeing Steve Earle, looking at his set list, he does a ton of covers, and if I'm going to see an artist, I don't mind having maybe 4 covers, but I want to hear your songs.
And not to mention, he tends to get political.
Yes, sir. That's why I would never see him. Exactly.
I'm
not going to be held hostage while someone. Yeah, and that's what he does. You're right, Alan.
Or I don't like that, and I also don't like, and I'm not going to name the artist because the person's dead, but when I understand that if you've overcome addiction and you're trying to reach out to a lot of people and you're a famous musician.
No, Jelly Roll's not dead yet.
I'm not talking about Jelly Roll. But when you're a famous person, I understand why he was trying to do it. It was at Walnut Creek, but when you're going on for like 12 minutes, you could have played 3 of your songs.
Well, Jelly Roll's not dead yet.
Randy Orton may kill him, but
Jelly Roll will do that every show. We saw him in Greensboro. That was all Jessica, and anyway, by the way, if anybody wants a concert update on what I'm going to, I'll give you one. So here we go. In April, we have Tracy Bird in Kinston, and in June, we got Matt Mason over in Dunn at the Bursonist Listening Room. In July, I'm going to see Blackberry Smoke for a second time in Wilmington. Also in July, I got pit passes for Turnpike Troubadours with Muscadine Bloodline.
Muscadine Bloodline.
In Charlotte. Yes, sir. That's going to be great. And then potentially in July, we might be going to see the Coral Reefer Band. So
I want to go to that.
As a matter of fact, I can update you on that if you'd like. I was able to get 2 pairs of tickets for 2 of you, and I just basically flipped the coin. So
no. Hey, Alan, I've said from the beginning I want to go, but I will gladly buy my ticket because. Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. So so I'm getting 2. I'm assuming
you're getting 2. Yes, and I literally just you and Dave, but there could be more tickets on the way because
don't worry about it. I have no problem.
Look, here's
hey, as long as I get a ride, that's more than makes up for it.
Everybody, hold on. We're going to see Turnpike Troubadours and Muscadine Bloodline that same week. So I got to make sure with Jessica that she still wants to do both on the same week. If she doesn't, then JR can have my tickets. But if she does, then JR needs to buy a ticket and you can ride with us, JR.
Yeah, I haven't.
That's
given
the
up.
fun part.
I haven't given up that there could be some more tickets coming our way as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jared,
and
you going to
Whiskey
Black-
Labs and the Black Crows and the
I thought about going to see
I want
that.
to see that
in
one.
Raleigh.
I want to see
JR,
that.
are you going to Blackberry Smoke in Wilmington?
You know what? If tickets are available, I'll go.
They're $45. There's still a couple
That's a
left.
bargain, Kyle.
General admission at Greenfield Lake. That's how all shows are. So you just get there early. I'm actually going to try to go and reserve me seats again, like I did last time. I use the I can't see good thing. Can you sew me a seat up front?
I always get there early for concerts because that's the fun, you know. Pre gaming.
Well, Greenfield Lake is general admission, the whole amphitheater. So
Okay.
if you want to go, Ticketmaster, get your ticket. We got another friend coming with us, and so
You got the and there's two concerts I really want to see. So I want to see the Christopher Cross Romantics and Toto show.
Yeah.
And there's
my friend Elizabeth is going to that.
I like 2 out of 3 of those. Christopher Cross, I'm not sure I could tolerate for. I don't know.
He'll make you jump.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, but my wife was distraught that she wasn't able to attend the Blackberry Smoke concert in Roanoke Rapids. So I'm thinking about this would be a good opportunity to bring her down to.
Wilmington. Okay, so you don't even need to ride with us.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good because the friend that's going with us is a woman. I wasn't going to tell you that just in case you wouldn't ride because your wife might say, he didn't know, you know. So, but since you're going with your wife, I really wasn't going to tell you that. That way you couldn't be held responsible. I don't know your wife. Your wife might get mad about stuff like that.
Well,
I know I couldn't.
Look forward to you meeting her because I think you two would hit it out pretty well.
Well, good. I'm looking forward to meeting her also.
All right.
And I've never seen Mac McAnally, and I love.
Lead singer now of
the Coral Reefer Band. And they still have Robert. They still have Robert Greenidge on the steel drums.
And Mike.
And no, it's Mick Utley. I think it's Michael Utley's son.
Oh, he's not there anymore?
Well, Michael Utley's never gone by Mick that I know of. I mean, he's always been Michael Utley. Or Mr. Utley.
Mr. Utley.
Mr. Utley.
But in this case, they put. I looked at the band members and it said Mick Utley, so I'm assuming that's Michael Utley's son.
Who's playing steel in the band, Johnny?
Robert Greenidge.
Okay, he's a steel player.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the vote.
There's a lot of talent right there.
Yeah, I'd go see
me singing. I appreciate that.
I'd go see Mac McAnally by himself tomorrow.
Me too.
Tomorrow.
He needs to come
great songwriter.
Yeah, he needs to come to Weldon Mills.
One of the best lines ever in a song. It's a crazy world, but I live here.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're a Pirate fan.
Mac McAnally wrote a lot of Jimmy Buffett stuff too.
Yeah,
he wrote a lot of stuff for a lot of people.
He had It's a Crazy World, and then in '83 he had a hit called Minimum Love.
That's the one I know
on the pop charts. And then there was a minor hit in '80 called Opinion on Love.
I like Coastal Carolina by Mac McAnally.
I don't like Coastal Carolina.
No, not Coastal Carolina. I wouldn't approve of that ever.
I know
off the coast of Carolina.
If I'm going to go Mac McAnally vocal songs, then I'm going to go not ones that he wrote, but ones that he sang. I'll go with his duet with Kenny Chesney, Down the Road.
I love that.
Okay,
song.
That's good. That's good.
Yep. And I think I told you guys there's a clip on YouTube of Mac McAnally, Jimmy Buffett, and Wendy Waltman doing Steve Goodman's song.
I thought you were going to say Wendy Richter.
Wendy, her too. Wendy Waltman, who's a very famous background singer. Right after Steve Goodman died, Jimmy was hosting Nashville Now in 1984, and they did a Goodman song called California Promises.
Okay.
It's outstanding. Look it up on YouTube. You'll be glad.
No, I've heard that. I didn't know it was a Steve Goodman song, though.
Yeah, that's a Steve Goodman. You know, Buffett Buffett cut
Okay,
it on an
yeah, it's
album.
a good
like,
song.
Yeah. Buffett cut it on an album in maybe 82.
Yeah, I've definitely heard it.
Yeah, but the live version on Nashville Now in '84 is fantastic.
JR, if you're going to really get tickets for you and your wife for Wilmington for
I know I can't mess around too much.
yeah, because that venue only holds 1,200 people, and they've been on sale for about 2 months at this point. So it's got to be getting close to selling out.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I know, Kyle. I got
Guys,
so much going on.
Yeah, we're getting out of here, and that's it for concert updates. In fact, Jessica has told me, with the exception of the Confederate Railroad show, which ain't but $20 a ticket, that I am not allowed to buy any more concert tickets for the summer after the pit passes for Turnpike Troubadours and Muscadine Bloodline, unless it's Cody Jinks, Ward Davis, or Paul Coffin.
Well, drink.
There you go.
We got to drink it before the end of the show.
She has laid down the law. Huh?
Yeah, man, she has.
What if you win tickets, Kyle?
Oh, that's fine. Free win, that's fine. I just can't buy
right.
anymore. She told me I got to quit spending so much money on concert tickets. So,
all right,
I'm going. I chose I think I chose a good one for. At least I told her, like, watch, they'll announce next week some show I really want to go to at Carolina Crossroads or something. But by the way, the concert lineup, you notice none of these shows are in Raleigh. The concert lineup in Raleigh this year, with the exception of Whiskey Myers, Black Crowes, and Cody Jinks with Five Finger Death Punch, sucks. It's horrible.
Well, there goes our sponsorship for any of the venues.
Well, screw them, though, Dave. They got to bring better product.
Is the Walnut Creek schedule? Is that anything?
Oh yeah, that's where Counting Crows and Whiskey Myers is. But that's the only. And Cody Jinks and Five Finger Death Punch. Those are the only shows. But I'm not going to go see Cody Jinks and Five Finger Death Punch because, well, same reason for both. I like Black Crowes, but not enough to go see them. I'm not a Five Finger Death Punch fan. I'm not a Five Finger Death Punch fan at all.
I'm not either, Kyle. I am not either.
I don't dislike them, but I'm not a fan.
No, I'm not a fan either.
I'm not paying. I've paid over $200 tickets for Cody Jinks. I'm not paying $150 to go see him as an opening act and play for 55 minutes. It's not like paying $150 and seeing him play for 2 hours. And the same with Whiskey Myers. I'd love to see them, but I'm more inclined to go see them open for Black Crowes because I do like Black Crowes. But the point I'm making is I want to see the opening acts, and I'm not going to pay headline prices for the opening act. They should have an opening act.
It's the secret to that, Kyle. Smaller venues.
Yes, I know. Yes, but they're not playing anywhere smaller venues.
I know.
By the way, as we're leaving, the deluxe edition of 5150, if you're a Van Halen
fan,
was just released yesterday.
All right.
Okay.
Go to your
and it's got some really cool stuff on it.
Alan was in line at the mall record shop.
I was. No. I bought it the day it came out in May of late April of '86. True story, but the deluxe has got a lot of unreleased stuff, some live stuff, and it's really cool.
You know, I protested that when it came out because I didn't want. I was a David Lee Roth guy. I didn't really, but I like Sammy Solo. I love Sammy Solo.
Exactly what I said, Tony.
Yeah, but Dreams, I know that's that's like an overdone song, but that really was like that. I really like that. That made me a fan.
Yeah, I was skeptical when Hagar came on board, but I was proven wrong.
He actually from '85.
Hey guys, I'm gone. Love y'all. Be good. Go Pirates.
Love you, Kyle.
85 to 94 of Hagar was great stuff. As far as being a part. After 94, I'm done with. That was when I lost interest in Hagar part.
The last great song they did with Hagar, I thought, was "Finish What You Started."
Yeah, I love that. Oh, you
okay. But I should add, Dreams was great, but Why Can't This Be Love was okay. Love Walks In, Best of Both Worlds.
One of my
Best of Both Worlds.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a really, really. That was that CD got a lot of play from me.
Yep. It turned Van Halen. I mean, Jump did obviously, but 5150 cemented Van Halen as a commercial pop whatever band. A lot of people didn't like that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I thought it showed Eddie's songwriting ability. I thought it showed Hagar could play guitar, and he was a great front man. David Lee Roth is a great front man, but he's not a musician.
that is
Not at all.
And but man, Hagar, he proved me wrong, and
Me too.
And I just think that incarnation of Van Halen. I just wish they could all get along and get together. Now that Eddie's gone, just all get together one more time.
David Lee Roth is like a cartoon now, though.
Yeah, it's not. I think he's got a screw or two loose. Something's not quite right.
I think he does. I really do.
What do you mean now? He's always been that way.
Yeah, but I mean, he just. But see, you can have a screw loose when you're making great music, and nobody notices. But when your music kind of takes a dip and you got a screw loose, that's when it is very noticeable.
See Bobby Knight in basketball for Indiana. I did want to tell you guys, I've already told y'all, but I want our audience, for everybody to come out Saturday, April 25th. We're going to have a big tailgate for the ECU Alumni Association. It's going to be awesome. Johnny Robertson will be there signing autographs.
Is Van Halen going to be there?
What's that?
Is Van Halen going to be there?
If I could make that work, I probably wouldn't be on the Sports Objective, but I wish I could make that happen. That Van Halen's playing in the parking lot. No, I'm kidding.
David Lee Roth may be attainable.
Well, yeah, he's probably very obtainable. You're right. You're right.
That's correct. But
Hey, by the way, Dave, are you gonna? What area are you gonna be at? You're gonna be in the which parking lot?
I think we're gonna actually be in the premium lot. Myself and Ken, we're gonna. He's the president of our chapter. We're going to be parked side by side. We'll have like a tent and everything. And cool. Johnny Robertson will be there. If you want
I definitely will.
Johnny, and we're working out the time. So by the time we get to April 23rd, we may have a time. No, I'm kidding. We're working out the time on everything. I think that's a 4 o'clock game. I believe off the top. We're playing South Florida. But we need a lot. We need a lot of people there. We want everybody to come out. If you're an alum, not an alum, Alan came and, he pulls really hard he's been a Pirate fan his entire life. I know, Johnny, you've been with us a long time. So it doesn't matter. It's not, even though it says ECU Alumni Association, the ENC Eastern North Carolina chapter, we would really, really love to have a lot of Pirate Nation there. We're promoting it heavy, and we want to make sure you guys know about it, especially on the show. I want to give a shout out to Dan at the Alumni Association. He's a big fan of ours. And he loves our.
I met Dan. Good dude.
He's the one that passed out the towels that I love. Yeah. So anyway, we'll talk more about that. We'll have a show, I guess, you guys, on Sunday night, Easter, and the Easter Bunny.
Are you serious?
If you want, yes.
I thought we were doing it Saturday night. Shoot, I don't know, but I'll be driving Sunday.
All right, we'll figure
I guess I could do it from my car. I guess I could.
Well, yeah, we'll figure it out. I definitely can't do. I personally can't do Saturday, but whatever you guys want to work out is great. Whatever you guys want to do.
All right, we've had a blast tonight talking about everything life. Alan Vick's presidential run in 28. If you didn't hear about that,
yeah, David Allen Coe's nudity.
That I enjoyed very much.
That's just a true story too, by the way.
No, just the visualization in my head.
I was trying to get breaking news that Alan Vick was going to run for president, but he's dodged that question. So he's
I can't run anywhere, Dave. So thanks.
I'll get out of here. You guys have a great Easter. Please be safe if you're traveling, and we'll
go Pirates.
Go Pirates.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.